Hello, everybody. Welcome to the News Critics 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Your parents help you hook it up.
Your parents help you hook it up.
List not included.
Look at those fucking graphics, man. Alright, let's do this, right?
Let's do this. Let's just jump into it.
Let's do this. Alright, so we're going to start as we always do, with Tumblr getting deep. 21 instances of such hitherto Proctor Hoc and other Latin phrases that I don't know what the fuck they mean.
We must go deeper.
Alright, here we go. Number 21. There's my mouse. Whoops Robot says, my favorite high school thing ever was in our English lit class reading of Hamlet, and we all had to play different characters, and partway through everybody started reading it like a porno, with heavy, breathy, moaning voices, and the dude playing the queen spoke in a drunken Alabama accent, and the teacher told us we were awful and that Shakespeare would have wanted it that way. And Brie Landwalker says, Shakespeare would be so fucking proud.
I imagine he delved in debaucherous humor here and there.
Oh, I mean, it's peppered throughout his work, but, people think of things like, like Hamlet, for example, being so super serious, but the majority of his plays are comedies.
I'm just a big fan of how lit their English class was.
Because it was English lit.
Yeah.
I see what you did there. You trying to be like the cool kid saying shit's leet. You're going to start dabbing and saying yeet soon.
On fleek. Yeet, yeet, yeet.
Well, on fleek is I don't think people say that anymore, unfortunately.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that one's out of date.
Jeez. I was just getting used to woot. Now it's yeet.
You're getting used to woot. Woot from like 1997, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, that shit's old. They used to say that on the old IRC chats.
I thought that was shoop.
No, Shoop is even older than that.
Yeah.
Shoop goes back to the 70s, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Arteline, this is number 20. Arteline says, Human is heating up food. Alien, why are you doing that? Human, you see, I want the particles in my food to vibrate at just the right frequency.
Nerd.
Danny Dan Useless Stuff says, Human is eating ice cream. Alien, wait, you forgot to make that one vibrate. Human, well, you see, not with this food. And Cardoza says, this one is already vibrating at the desired frequency, but if it starts to vibrate at a higher frequency, I'll lock it back in the cold box. And Asgardreed says, Human, just reheated pizza in the oven. Other Human is eating a slice of the same pizza, but cold. Alien, exasperated sputtering.
Cold pizza is pretty good.
I gotta have it hot. You know what? Why do these posts, because I've seen shit like this, they assume that aliens are complete dumbasses who can't figure shit out.
It's just, well, the term alien, like, this is so alien to me.
Yeah, but, like, if I saw an alien creature, I don't know, like, squeezing his food before he ate it, and somebody said, why the fuck did he do that? I'd be like, I don't know, he likes to.
Yeah, they freaking squeeze their food.
Of course, no person is going to say, you see, I want the particles in my food to vibrate. And they're going to say, because I like it hot. I mean, nobody's going to talk like that unless they're talking to, like...
nerds.
Yeah, maybe they're talking to the nerd from Big Bang Theory or something. But...
Oh, yeah, had to invoke Big Bang Theory.
Well, it's finally ending, so I could be at peace again.
Oh, finally, no more laugh track.
Oh, God. You ever see those YouTube videos where they show the Big Bang Theory without the laugh track?
That's what pretty much woke me up from the dullness of laugh tracks. Was my brother showed it to me, and it's just awkward.
It is such a bleak show without the laugh track.
It's like we have to pause for 10 seconds.
All right. Will Nuev says, open RP. Hey, can I get 7 large Cokes and a barbecue sauce? Taco, is Pepsi okay? Villeneuve, I guess, I said sulking, my amber-hued orbs peering down because of gravity. Taco, okay, I hand you 7 large Cokes and a Pepsi.
I don't get it.
I get it, because he didn't say, you assumed he was going to substitute the Cokes with Pepsi. He substituted the barbecue sauce with Pepsi.
Oh, I thought it was a little deeper than that. I thought this was Tumblr Gets Deep.
Well, it's a subversion. That's kind of deep. Number 18, Ghostiel Levy says, "You're obsessed with your mental illness. I know, right? It's almost like it impacts every part of my life." And then Profound Boner says, "It's all in your head. I know, right? It's almost like it's a mental illness." And
Jeez, he couldn't be winking any harder.
I know, right? And Amy Angelming says, "Why do you let it affect you and stop you from being able to do things?" I know, right? It's almost like it's an actual illness.
All right, we got it, buddy.
Well, yeah, there's 3 different people, though. Neurotypicals do be like that. They're like, "Oh, it's all in your head. It shouldn't bother you." And it's like, well, fuck you, bro.
It is all in your head, though. Like it's that's where the issue lies.
That's literally the area of your body with the problem. Like,
yeah.
But people say that as a way of like dismissing. Like, oh, it's in your hand. Ringo Road Again posts these 2 pictures. It says, "Troubling graffiti spotted in Manarola." One says, "Sex dwarf." That's all it says. And the other says, "Dress her like a squirrel." I wonder if they're related. You're supposed to get a sex dwarf and dress her like a squirrel.
Or if maybe that's like, I don't know, a hub for helpful tips, and it's just those 2 completely unrelated things.
Maybe. Well, Comedian Thrax says, "All I see is a band name and a debut album title."
Yeah,
Dress Her Like a Squirrel, the first album by Sex Dwarf.
Mm-hmm. Although nowadays it'd probably be reversed. You probably the name of the band
it would be like one of those like post-rock bands called Dress Her Like a Squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then first album, Sex Dwarf.
Yeah, but then the second album would have like 15 words in the title.
One of them would be upside down for some reason.
Why not? Number 16, Dead Bishop says, "I was reading about Thomas Jefferson's medical history and they post an excerpt. Violent headache for 2 days after behaving awkwardly in front of a girl he fancied. March 1764, age 20th. And that's that. 24 says, "Jefferson's so relatable."
He's just like me.
He got a violent headache for 2 days after being awkward in front of a girl. There are people that believe that Jefferson may have been autistic, and that just kind of points more towards it.
Maybe he's just nervous around girls.
And then got a headache for 2 days because of it?
Some people, it affects them a little bit more.
yeah, I think he may have been a little autistic. It's interesting because we have these visions of these old historical figures that just based on things like statues and portraits and whatnot. Like, did you know that like Abraham Lincoln had a high-pitched, squeaky voice?
Yes, actually.
Supposedly,
I've seen Lincoln.
You've seen Lincoln?
The movie, sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I haven't seen Lincoln, so I didn't know that they got it that accurate, that he had the high pitch.
Yep.
Supposedly he sounded like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
No, I'm Lincoln. No.
That sounded more like Conan O'Brien doing his nerd voice.
Yeah.
All right, number 15, Cling Cruel reposts this from Temmie Taylor's Hair. "I was in line at Aldi, and what the fuck is Aldi? I feel like I gotta know what that is before I understand this."
It's got to be like the new hotness in something.
Oh, it's in Germany.
Oh.
It's like a German ShopRite.
ShopRite,
Okay.
what's that?
Like a grocery store.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's a German version of that. "I was in line at Aldi, and this girl with 2 toddlers in front of me had her card declined, and she looked so fucking sad and said, 'Let me call my husband real quick,' and it was only $18, so I just paid for it. And she was very sweet, and then as she walked off, a lady behind me said, 'You know that was probably a scam, right?' And, like, even if it was, like, what a sad fucking scam, right? $18 at the Aldi? If you're scamming me for some Tyson chicken and apple juice and cauliflower, then just take my fucking money. A scam. People are fucking wild." And
Whoa.
Wait, hold on. Advanced Procrastination posts, translated, "I don't understand why you would help another person." That's true. That is what they were basically saying.
Like, you just assume the worst, right?
Yeah, that was like one hell of a scam. You scammed this girl out of $18.
Like what if the quote unquote scam didn't work? Was she just gonna run off?
Yeah, she's gonna be like, "I'll get you next time," and just like poof in a ball of smoke, you know.
And Tyson chicken, huh?
Number 14. Lesbian Herstory posts a quote from Sappho. May you sleep on the breast of your tender woman companion.
Hey.
And, Lois MacGyver posts, I guess, a modern equivalent. Get you a girlfriend, nap on her titty.
Yeah, am I right? High five.
And Lesbian Herstory says over 2.5 millennia later, and lesbians is still the same.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, the whole concept of gayness isn't going to change a whole lot.
So gay.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay. So Peter Maximoff here posts this. First of all, they're posting this billboard, and it's for OkCupid, you know, the dating site.
Oh yeah.
And it literally says DTF on it. And then it says all head over heels, and it's got like this one woman embracing another, like she's doing the bridal carry kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there's so many hands in this picture.
Ooh, they're handsy.
No, there's more hands than there should be.
Oh, it's a weird
It's a really
picture.
bad Photoshop. Like I say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hands. There's only 2 people in the picture, but there's 6 hands.
Hands across America.
Damn. So Peter Maximoff here says she got 4 hands, and Beesbian says lesbians are just that powerful. I'm surprised nobody's pointing out the fact that it says DTF on it.
Right?
Damn. I thought it was OkCupid, not Tinder.
Hey, swipe left. Wait, fuck. Which one is it? Left or right to say yes?
I have no idea.
Me neither.
I have no idea. I think left might be the bad one, but I really don't know. I've had my girlfriend since before Tinder was a thing, so I've never...
Twinder.
Yeah, Twinder. Twinder, it's Tinder for tweens.
No.
They swipe up and down instead of left and right.
There you go.
I don't even know why that's funny. It just is. Number 12, Firelight My Stick. Repost this from Linetti. My brain interrupting my daydream. This is poorly researched and the narrative is not compelling. Wow. Nurkami replies with brain. Do it again. Take it from the top. And Bothering Blather says, holy, I'm so glad I'm not the only one. Fuck. And Firelight's Mystic says, I thought it was just me. So I guess if you're having a daydream and your brain just cuts in like, no, cut. This is just terrible. Let's start over again.
Yeah, like, we can do better than this.
It's like one part of your brain interrupting the other, I guess.
I just picture, like, DJ Khaled coming and going, another one.
Another one.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that the brain was the most important organ, but then I thought, who's telling me that?
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. All right, number 11. Neon Lalonde says, horror game. Turn up the volume and use headphones for the best experience. Me, and it shows that icon of the lowest possible setting on audio.
Yeah, or I picture an icon of the bitch please.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the same thing. And Canrose replies with horror game. Adjust the brightness until the symbol is barely visible. And then they literally post a picture of the sun.
Yeah, right?
You know, if you don't want to be scared by a horror game, maybe play something else.
I kind of need to turn it up, though, so I can... Because everything's too damn dark.
Yeah, but also the audio thing, like, you know, they're you know, I don't know. It just seems like the developers are trying to get you immersed in it, and you're just like, nah, fam, I don't want to be scared. I was like, okay, that's fair. You don't want to be scared. Maybe don't play the scary game that's supposed to scare you.
Don't go spooky. Go spoopy.
Spoopy, yeah. Play Castlevania.
There you go. Or Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, oh, that's very spoopy. Okay, number 10. Iron Man Stan says, imagine how fucking funny Infinity War would have been if Thanos' snap randomly selected him as well.
Oh, he's like, shit.
I don't think he would have cared at that point. Sinistrop. Wow, I can't even say this. Sinistroptery X. Post. So long, suckers. I rev up my motorcycle and create a huge cloud of smoke. When the cloud dissipates, I'm lying completely dead on the pavement. That's basically the same idea. Yeah, that's the same basic idea, right?
Yeah, that'd be a funny bit.
Yeah. Number 9. Harry Edwards says, men will literally nut 45 seconds into sex and have the audacity to ask if you came. Yeah, I came into the wrong house.
Oh!
Harry Edwards says, I posted this on Twitter and some guy sent me his address.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is the right house.
This is house for sex.
Yeah, this is the house for good sex.
The good sexing.
Yeah, this is the good sex house.
I make sex good.
That's when you want to. That's when you want to fuck somebody's wife, long dick style.
Yes, long dick style.
Number 8. So wow, this is the text on this is so fucking tiny. I'm gonna blow this up because I can't fucking see it.
Okay. Shit's blown up.
Good lord, man. Okay, so first there's a picture from Reddit. Actually, it's from the subreddit Ask Reddit, which is I guess like Yahoo Answers, where you ask people questions.
Ask Jeeves.
Yeah. Wow, you're going back there. What is the dumbest solution to a problem that actually worked? And Stella Potamus says, I went to cancel a doctor's appointment and they said it was a $200 charge without a week's notice. I asked how much it was to reschedule. They said it was free. Okay, so I need to reschedule for 2 weeks out. Is 3 weeks okay? Yeah. All right, you're all set for 3 weeks from now. Anything else I can do for you? Yes, I need to cancel my appointment. We need a week's notice. My appointment is 3 weeks away. Oh. Okay, sure. Thank you. Couldn't believe it worked. So that's what we're starting with. So then, yeah, it's good though. Wyvern Rider says, the auxiliary water pump on my car broke. The plastic rotted and cracked, so it was spewing coolant everywhere. And the mechanic wanted me to pay $300 for a $150 part. I went to an auto store and bought the part for just under $150 as we're going to have the mechanic install it until I called them back and they said they don't install customer parts. So I figured if they won't install customer parts, they'll at least fix existing problems with the vehicle. So naturally, I poorly installed the new part myself, then took it to the mechanic saying I had coolant issues and wasn't sure what the problem was. They fixed the problem in under 20 minutes and only charged me $30 for the labor. Wow. And,
that's just, I don't know if that's dumb. That's just being, like, using the system well.
I guess so. Yeah, it's not truly dumb, but it's interesting. So Fatty Atomic Mutant just says, holy. And Hot Molasses says, I'm going to try that last one. So then there's another one here. This one doesn't have a name on it. It says, I went to my doctor's office and asked if they had any slots open for that day. They told me they don't take walk-ins. You have to call ahead for an appointment. So I pulled out my phone and called the office. The other receptionist answered the phone, and on the first one literally watched me say, I'd like to make an appointment today if you have any slots available. He said to me on the phone, all they had available was for 9 o'clock. Could I make it in time? I said, yep, I'm standing right here. He didn't understand what I meant and happily put my appointment down. I hung up and said to the original receptionist, hi, I have an appointment in 5 minutes. She very angrily entered me as arrived and gave me my forms.
Why be very angry? I mean, if that's how they do it, you know? It's like, all right.
Because the guy goes, hey, do you have any slots open? And she's like, oh, you have to have an appointment. Like, honestly, what is really the difference between asking them that question on the phone or in person? Like, think about it. If you show up in person and you ask them if they have anything available, they're going to tell you no. But if you call on the phone and ask the same exact question, they're going to say yes. That's some fuck shit.
That's just stupid. It's dumb.
Yeah,
there we go.
So the solution was not dumb. The problem was dumb. But wow.
Well, watching someone talk to the receptionist right in front of them would be funny.
That is funny, yeah. Number 7, Candlelion says you can tack on N Dragons after any title and it will be 900% better. And Arpeggios Medley says Dungeons and Dragons and Dragons. And it's Gummy Appin Sweet, I think. And it says that's twice the dragons. You literally cannot go wrong with this.
Yeah.
Debbie Does Dallas and Dragons.
Oh, dude.
That'd be some fucked up shit.
Blowing more than just fire.
Number 6, Snaky Bones posts this thing. It's actually a tweet from Strong Pair Phi who says, nudes are so 2017. Send me a photo of yourself in full plate armor welding battle-ready weapons.
Oh, it's metal as fuck.
Actually did that. They put on plate armor with weapons, and they took bathroom selfies and said, "Is this what they wanted?"
Am I hot now?
Am I hot now? Yeah. Wow. All right, number 5. Undercover Underdog says, for those of you who don't know, I work at an anarchist co-op coffee shop. What?
Wait, that's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, I know. There's so much more, but like, hold on a second. An anarchist co-op coffee shop?
Wait, a coffee shop? Doesn't that kind of go against the whole anarchy thing?
Like, imagine if you give them their fucking cappuccino and you're like, that'll be $3, and they're like, yeah, okay.
I would just be like, just laughing while walking out. Like,
What are you going to do? Call the government?
You got to use the word government in there somewhere.
Yeah. Apparently, all the Chicano and Cholo boys in my neighborhood have caught on to the fact that I sneak food and stuff to all the little punk kids and homeless kids at the coffee shop. There are 3 in particular who call me Mom. Not Mommy, not Ma, Mom. The rest refer to me as Miss. They've decided to always have one of the 3 of them there with me on night shifts, especially after they witnessed the last bad shift where I had to kick a bunch of tweakers out. Said tweakers lit my fucking bulletin board on fire. Okay, wait, there's more, but I just gotta say, when you run an anarchist coffee shop, you know, that you're kind of asking for tweakers to come in and light the shit on fire.
You're asking for all the trouble.
Yeah, every bit of trouble that you can think of. Tonight, one of the boys actually charged up a crackhead who wouldn't get out when I told him to leave. Wait, well, how dare you have authority? I thought this was an anarchist. I think I'm being a little harsh on this person, but I think when they say anarchist, they mean like the hardcore punk rockers kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd like to picture that. Let's just say the dude lights the thing on fire, like, and they're like, "What do you do?" What's that?
Like they're actual anarchists, right?
Yeah, no, but he lights the thing on fire, and then the lady is like, "What are you doing?" And he just says, "Don't make me tap the sign," and he's above the anarchist sign.
The sign that says "No rules," right?
Yeah.
All right. About an hour later, I was emptying bus tubs, and that same lovely boy walked in and wetted a wash rag. I asked what he was doing, and he told me not to worry. So I went about my business doing dishes, bussing the main dining tables, etc. I'd left a broom in the smoking room and a fresh trash bag in the bathroom for once I was done with the dishes. When I walked out, everything was spotless and the trash had been replaced. He'd wiped all my tables, swept, mopped, and emptied out my ashtrays. He'd also picked the lock on the bathroom so his friend could take out the trash for me, which I'm not sure whether I should scold him for. They snuck around and did my closing shift duties to thank me for keeping them warm and fed. I'm fucking crying. And Spaffy Jimble says, kindness begets kindness. And Orc Lady Unabi says, picking a lock so you can take out trash for someone who's nice to you is the most chaotic good thing I've ever heard. That's a good way of putting it, actually.
Yeah, chaotic good. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I can relate because D&D.
D&D.
Oh, in the D.
Oh. Number 4, Bridezilla says, today I put my hand in my backpack and felt like a stress ball, and I was like, oh, I have a stress ball, and I squeezed it. And it was a pear, and it exploded, and now I'm more stressed than I was.
What are you doing with a pear in there?
Sounds like they put it in there at some point and forgot about it if it had the consistency of a stress ball. It was
how long? Rotten. Like, ugh.
Yeah, well, a couple of weeks at least, right?
Damn, you wouldn't smell gross pear?
Yeah, you know what? I have a feeling this person's backpack normally smells gross.
Oh, one of those. A dirt.
Yeah. All right, number 3, Get Off My Blog Ho says, can I get a hell yeah? And the doctor's Rose says, teacher's voice, I don't know. Can you? May I get a hell yeah? You should have gotten a hell yeah during the break before class started. Oh, but I didn't need a hell yeah during the break.
I like that.
I can relate to that.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, that, you know, when you're in school and like, can I go to the bathroom? Oh, can you? Like, bitch, I gotta go.
Like, we're not doing this, dog and pony show. We're not doing
the jokes that you think are funny and nobody else does. Number 2, Silver Bells Elicitor says, it kind of really confuses me when Barbie commercials have little girls dressing them up and brushing their hair. Like, no, Barbie is not about fashion. Barbie is about collecting as many dolls as you can get your grubby 7-year-old hands on and dominating the living room with your expansive empire of plastic women. Barbie is about creating intricate social structures and spicy interfamily conflicts between townhouse residents. Barbie is about formulating complex backstories for tortured Ken dolls with emotional scars. It's about creating near-sadistic dramatic plot twists that split up marriages and cause that one Barbie you really dislike to be ceremoniously tossed down the stairs in order to be offed by the jealous ex-wife of Ken number 4.
Okay,
there's more.
It's time to get off the internet and go outside.
No, there's more. There's replies, but I just gotta say, I have a sister. She had Barbie dolls. I have overheard her playing with them, and yeah, it wasn't, "Oh, Barbie, you're so pretty. I want to be like you," and brushing the hair. It was what this girl said.
Yikes!
I'm pretty sure that all girls who had Barbies would probably agree with that. So, all right, so Carrie Renaissance says, yes, but how do you make it into a marketable commercial that won't freak parents and caregivers out? Quasi-Normalcy says, I've always had the impression that advertisers don't really understand how girls play with their toys. And Mappy Snappy says, when I played with Barbies, I had this thing called the Dead Pit, which was a purple Bratz laundry hamper. So whenever a Barbie got killed off, she would go in there. And what I would do is I'd carry her down to the Dead Pit while singing the Dead Pit song. The Dead Pit song was just saying the Dead Pit over and over again in different tones. Anyway, once I find... sorry, that's fucking funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, once I finally reached the pit, I would announce, name has died, and drop her in. I would wait a few moments. Then I would violently shake the hamper while shrieking, pretending to be the tortured souls of dead Barbies from the underworld. I thought it was hilarious. I agree, that is fucking hilarious.
It's dark and funny. That's so good.
It's amazing. Yeah.
It's inventive.
All right, number 1. Captain Snoop here says, man, the creators of Superman really named a small town Smallville and a big city Metropolis, didn't they? And Grab Mop Puncher says, oh, I'm sorry, it's Grandma Puncher. They really need spaces. Why would you name yourself that? I mean, they made a superhero named Superman, so what did you expect?
Well, to be fair, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was 1938. Comics were new at the time. They'd been around for like a couple of decades, and subtlety was not a thing yet.
Like, isn't there something like, it was before X-Men, like Doom Patrol or something like that? Well, they all had rather unoriginal names.
Well, the Doom Patrol are before the X-Men by like a couple of months, so it's not like it's...
but wasn't it like the Something Man and the Other Thing Man? Like just...
No, I mean, there was one called Robot Man.
Okay, well, Robot Man.
There was Beast Boy, but he wound up in the Teen Titans.
Yeah, so... It's not limit, it's...
Well, I mean, you think about those early superheroes from the 30s. You had Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, the Green Lantern. They're pretty basic names and concepts, The
Submariner?
Namor the Submariner. Like, they called him Namor. And as if you can't tell it has something to do with the water, they put, like, in parentheses, the Submariner.
Well, his name backwards is Roman.
Yeah, and then the other company's like, well, we'll do you one better, Aquaman.
Like, just he's one step away from Water Lad.
Yeah, and like Timely Comics were like, shit, we should have thought of that. We called him Aquaman. All right, well, out of 21, this. I needed this. I'm gonna say 21.
I'm going to go 19.
You're going to go 19. I needed it. It was funny to me. All right, 15 Twitter jokes everyone should read. Now, these have been really shitty lately, so let's see if maybe there's an improvement.
Fingers crossed.
All right, well, number 15. Siobhan Thompson says, when I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. No.
Jeez, what a dose of reality we got here.
No, I love it because it's dark. Oh, all right. Number 14. Oh my God, are you kidding me? You know how I've mentioned that the guy who puts the Twitter jokes things together is a guy named Mike Primavera?
Yep.
This is his Twitter in the next one. He included one of his own tweets.
Nice.
That nepotiz, huh? Well, Mike Primavera says, I only work out so I'm strong enough to hold every breed of dog like a baby. It's not really funny, but I can relate to it.
A better thing to say and shorter would have been every dog is a lap dog.
Well, yeah.
See, it conveys the same message.
But it doesn't tie into his whole workout routine, I guess. I don't know. Number 13.
A workout.
Not a Wolf says, listen, I would love to grab a drink tonight, but I will be busy opening and closing the same 3 apps over and over again until I go to sleep. That's accurate.
I've done that once or twice.
Yeah. Number 12, online participant says, friend, I'm tired of being poor. I'm going to turn into a life of crime. Me, dude, I'm so in. We should steal fine art or jewelry or the hamburger. Guys, hear me out.
Boy, have I got a plan for us.
We're going to steal hamburgers. All right, number 11. If you get robot arm... Oh, this is J.P. Lovecraft. If you get robot arms, don't get the cheap ones. Starts clapping for no reason. Okay, I see you there, J.P. Lovecraft.
That was good. That's good.
These are actually good. Number 10. Brent says to a psychic girlfriend, the spirits you talk to make fun of me, don't they? No. She laughs for no reason. Ah! Punching the air. Fight me, spirits. Okay, that one was dumb.
Yeah, I get it, but come on, man.
Yeah, making me laugh. Number 9. A paw stamping on a human face says, Mr. Sandman, bring me some sand.
Well, geez,
how about now?
Being so demanding, aren't we?
Yeah. Number 8, Judas from the gas station says, who is the mom of DuckTales, the baby ducks? Who the mom is? It's a good question, actually. Because if you think about it, like Huey, Dewey, and Louie were pawned off on their uncle by their other uncle.
That gets explored in the new cartoon.
I gotta watch that shit.
It's so good.
I've heard so. I gotta watch that shit. All right.
It's really, really good.
Well, I mean, because because I was thinking well, Daisy Duck, but she would be their aunt or something. All right, whatever. They're probably orphans, But all right, number 7, Todd Poppy Carlos's lady. My cat won't stop mewling. It's okay. I'm a cat whisperer. Okay, great. Shut the hell up.
You're a fucking cat.
All right, number 6. Speaking of which, this shows a picture of a cat looking in a mirror, and it has this surprised look on its face. And hi, it's Abby Yep posts, holy shit, I'm a cat?
That's what I've been this whole time?
All right. Number 5, Schmox here says, me as a teacher. Okay, who can tell me how to solve the problem on the board? Student, it just says I'm lonely.
Aww.
That's more sad than funny, but it is funny.
I'm so lonely.
That is a problem. Number 4, Tommy Tough Stuff says, me. I unzip my fanny pack and pull out a smaller fanny pack. Does this answer your question? Girl next to me on the bus. I didn't ask you a question.
That would be... I'd probably... If I was, sitting behind them, I would laugh.
I would run in the other direction. That's more creepy than anything.
Does this answer your question?
All right. Well, number 3, Huntigula here says, my 8-year-old niece. I have 6 boyfriends. Okay, wow, I hate all of them. Fair enough, kid.
Sounds like something an 8-year-old would say.
Pretty much, yeah, that's accurate. Number 2, Poorly Drawn Turtle says, giving a speech at a retirement party. Gone, you old fuck. Coworkers all laugh. Me, flips to next index card. That's all I had.
This concludes the segment.
Joke over. Number 1, your BFF Alex says, movie's 10-second sex scene begins. My dad who's been missing for 12 years. Hey, what you watching?
Of course. Of course.
That's how it goes, ain't it?
You're watching a perfectly innocent movie. All of a sudden, the one blip of a sex scene is on. Hey, what do you want? Oh!
It doesn't even have to be a sex scene. Just anything with a titty. And
yeah, even side boob.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, out of 15, actually, this was above average.
For once.
Yeah, I'm going to say 11.
13.
Ooh, that's sexy.
Are you an owl now?
I said, ooh, not ooh. Sometimes grammar demands that owls say whom. Speaking of bad jokes, we're moving on to another Play to Gene's list, and I told you about this just before. It's 20 plus. Why is it 20 plus? Just tell me how many there are. It's 30. It's not 20 plus, it's 30. So, 30 terrible dad jokes that you'll secretly laugh about later. No, I won't secretly laugh about it later. Jesse won't secretly laugh about it. He'll laugh about it now.
I'm already laughing.
And it ain't going to be a secret. All right. Number 30. These are all, by the way, these are all tweets from a Twitter account called Bad Dad Jokes.
I got to follow them.
Well, it's at Bad Dad Jokes, so maybe you should. Apparently you could use beef stew as a password. It's not stroganoff. Oh, I fucked it up. Apparently you can't use beef stew as a password. It's not stroganoff.
Kind of killed it.
Sorry. That was my B. Number 29. How do you kill a vegetarian vampire? With a stake to the heart.
Yep. That's how you do it.
That's a dad joke. Number 28. My friend David lost his ID. Now I just call him Dav. Oh my god, I am rolling my eyes so hard. This is going to hurt. Listen to him. I'm laughing a little bit because of you, actually. Oh, man. Number 27. What's the difference between a good joke and a bad joke? Timing.
Yeah.
That would have worked better if it wasn't written down. Number 26. I met my wife on the net. We were both bad trapeze artists.
Ha ha, because they both fell.
Rolled again. Number 25. What's the difference between in-laws and outlaws? Outlaws are wanted.
Oh,
It's not even a dad joke. It's like a vaudeville joke from like the 1870s.
Take my wife, please.
Yeah. Number 24. I used to have a job collecting leaves. I was raking it in. Number 23. What's the leading cause of dry skin? Towels.
Woo!
I'll give you time for the laugh track here. Number 22. I tell you what often gets overlooked. Garden fences.
Because you look over it.
Wow, I'm glad you explained that. I would not have gotten it. Number 21. I saw an ad in a shop window that said television for sale, £1, volume stuck on full. I thought, I can't turn that down.
I can't turn that down.
Number 20. Are you okay? Do we need to take a brief break while you breathe a few times?
My cheeks.
What? Yeah, your cheeks all right. What's a marsupial's favorite cocktail? A pina colada. That's not really a dad joke. That's like a joke a kid would tell their dad.
Yeah.
Right, number 19.
Yeah.
Why aren't jet skis called motorcycles?
That's a good one. Why aren't they?
Because there's no cycling involved.
Yeah, but it works.
If you say so. Number 18. Today's top fact, 50% of Canada is a dad joke. What?
Canada.
Oh, I get it. Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading their hashtag there. It was hashtag dad joke. Okay, 50% of Canada is
Yeah.
The letter A is half of the letters in the word Canada is the letter A.
Yeah.
That's okay. Try again. Maybe put a few spaces between your punchline and your hashtag. Number 17. Old yachtsmen don't die; they just keel over. Jesus fucking Christ.
Nice.
Number 16. I just ate a frozen apple. Hardcore.
Oh, good one. I love it. These are classy.
I just read a book about Stockholm Syndrome. It was pretty bad at first, but by the end I liked it.
Just Stockholm, yeah.
Number 14. Archaeology really is a career in ruins.
That's where you do it.
Yeah. Literal. Number 13. If you want a job in the moisturizer industry, the best advice I can give you is to apply daily.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right.
Number 12. I'm in pain here. Number 12. My Czech as in from Czechoslovakia. My checkmate is surprisingly bad at chess.
It's okay.
Yeah. Number 11. I hate perforated lines. They're terrible.
I I may have made that joke before.
Yeah.
It sounds familiar.
Sue this guy for the 14 cents that he made off that joke.
The 14s.
Number 10. A man tried to sell me a coffin today. I told him that's the last thing I need.
I get it.
I wish you guys could see my face right now. Number 9. Don't kiss your wife with a runny nose. You might think it's funny, but it's snot.
Ew. Don't be gross.
I'm laughing at your reaction. I thought you would laugh. You're like, ew. Number 8. What's the difference between a hippo and a zippo? One is really heavy, the other is a little lighter. You actually are clapping. That's just painful. Number 7. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl using the bathroom? Because the P is silent.
Come on.
Number 6.
Give it up.
That would have been funny if I didn't see it coming from a mile away. You can't run through a campsite. You can only ran because it's past tense.
Oh, that's really good. Come on, that's good.
No, it really isn't.
That's clever.
Yeah, but it ain't funny. It's clever, yes, but it's not funny. Number 5's not even a dad joke. It just says, May the 4th be with you, which they posted on May 4th, so...
Yeah, that's a demerit point for that one.
Yeah, number 4, I told my wife she drew her eyebrows too high. She seemed surprised.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Checks out.
Why do trees seem suspicious on sunny days? Dunno, they're just a bit shady.
It's okay.
Number 2. Want to hear a joke about construction? Nah, I'm still working on
it. That's some constructive criticism.
Finally, number 1. Singing in the shower is all fun and games until you get shampoo in your mouth. Then it's a soap opera.
Oh, excellent.
Nice little golf clap there. Well, okay. So here's the thing. There's 30 of them, and I'm going to give it a 15, and I'm going to tell you my reasoning here. Because I'm going by the title of the list, and it's half correct. Because it's terrible dad jokes. That's correct. That you'll secretly laugh about later. Incorrect. What do you say?
I give it 25.
Okay.
Out of 30. Some of them are weak.
Yeah. You should give it a 20 plus.
20 plus out of 30.
Like, why do they do that shit? 20 plus. Just say it's 30.
It's double plus good.
Double plus good. There was really something wrong with me. I don't know. What the hell was that?
I don't know.
Like Goofy masturbated.
Yep.
Gorsh. He just fucking spews everywhere.
Car wash.
Car wash.
It looks like Gorsh.
Okay, well, I have this is from the top10s.com. It's the I don't see, the thing is, it's called the top 10s, but there's usually a shitload more than 10.
Well, it's big quotation marks then.
So it's as many as you can load. So I'm just gonna do 10.
Okay.
You know what? No, what? Fuck 10. Let's do 15.
Oh shit! Off the rails.
15. I know, right? So the countries with the best food.
Ooh.
Interesting. Now, what do you think, would be like the top country? Not necessarily number one, but like give me like 2 or 3 that you think have the countries with the best food.
Italy, France.
Italy, France, yeah. I would think, France is kind of a slam dunk on that. Japan might be on there.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's see. I've scrolled to number 15. Number 15 is actually Switzerland. I don't really know that I've ever had Swiss food.
Wait a minute. Isn't that the place where Sir Strumming is?
No, that's Finland.
Oh, sorry. Well,
And you couldn't judge it by like the one gross thing they have because I mean,
I guess every place has its like what
no
the
matter
fuck
what.
food.
Like honestly, other than Swiss cheese and their chocolate, there's not a whole lot that I know about Swiss cuisine.
Swiss chalet.
Number 15 is Korea. Are they talking about which one are they talking about? It just says Korea.
I just picture Korean barbecue.
Korean barbecue do be good.
Mmm.
Okay, and then number 13 is South Korea. So I can only assume the other one is North Korea.
The other Korea.
Yeah, the other Korea. I've had read these articles about people who have gone to North Korea or people who live there and escaped, and they'll tell you it's fucking awful. It's abjectly terrible, but they will say that the one thing that they liked about it was that the food there is apparently really good. For the people who can afford
one day we may know.
One day we may be in the same situation as them.
Gulp.
All right. South Korean food is really good, though.
I don't think I've had any.
Well, then that's what Korean barbecue would be. It would be from South Korea. They will do stuff that are like sweet and spicy at the same time, and then they love their meat. They're really good at meat.
Sweet and spicy is two flavors that go very well together.
Oh yeah, definitely. Number 12 is Canada.
Really?
Canada.
Well, poutine is delicious.
But it's not just poutine. It's also, you guys have a rich history of cooking seafood.
Well, yeah, especially the East Coast.
Oh, yeah, and then your maple stuff. You invented maple syrup, but then there's also, maple flavored everything, sausages, bacon, anything you can think of, the candy.
Anything you just dip in maple.
Beaver tails.
Oh my God! There's a beaver tail place here in Ottawa that famously Barack Obama visited. He said, "This is the best beaver tail I've ever had."
There you go. Probably the only one he ever had.
Yeah.
Number 11 is Cambodia. I don't know a lot about their food there.
Spend a holiday there.
Yeah, that is a song. The Dead Kennedys sang that?
It is. It is.
Yeah. I heard you can get a lobster for $1.
Wow.
That's a joke from Men in Black, dude. Come on.
Yeah. Wait. Oh,
Take her to Cambodia, buy a lobster, spend more than $1.
All right, look, it's been a while since I've seen that movie. It's been a hot minute.
Timeless. Number 10 is Spain.
Spanish food.
Oh, there's so much to it, but just one word: tapas.
What are those?
It's like appetizers for an entree that never comes.
It sounded like an advertisement.
It's a joke from The Simpsons. No, but tapas are small dishes where instead of eating like you go to a restaurant, instead of ordering one meal, you would get like 6 or 7 tiny meals, so you get to sample a lot of different things.
Oh, okay. So it's like finger foods. Just
not necessarily finger foods, but just they'll give you a rich variety of different things. There's a lot of great foods that come from Spain. Paella is great. Tortillas originally come from Spain.
Tortillas.
Yeah. Believe it or not, olive oil comes from Spain originally. They're not famous for it, but that's where it originally came from. Number 9 is Vietnam.
Yeah, I've heard about
Vietnamese cuisine is not only is it really good, but it's super trendy right now, which is probably why it's in the top 10.
So hipsters like it?
Oh yeah, the pho noodles and stuff like that. People are.
I've heard people argue over how that stupid word is spelled or pronounced.
I don't know how pho. It's what it looks like.
It looks like pho, but they say it's pho.
Pho. Maybe it is pho. Number 8 is Thailand.
Thailand. Tiger.
Thai food is pretty fucking sweet. You gotta like your spicy food though, because they don't fuck around.
Ooh, is it really that hot?
They do not fuck around in Thailand. Thai food is their medium is our hot. It's a step above. Number 7, the United States.
Huh.
I mean,
well, like what would be like the prime United States meal?
First off, pizza. You know, we didn't invent it, but we perfected it.
Yeah.
Barbecue. We did kind of invent barbecue.
Texas barbecue?
I mean, everybody does it, but we do it the best. Hot dogs, hamburgers, steak.
Philly cheese steak.
Well, all kinds of steak. I mean, we will take the nastiest, grossest part of an animal and make it taste good. I mean, for dinner, I had liver and onions. It was fucking awesome.
Ooh.
Good shit. I mean, but we also have so many different regions where, you know, you'll go to like one area and it's all barbecue, then you go to another area and it's all seafood, and then you go to another area and it's all fusion, and then there's another area that's Cajun, and then there's California, which is a clusterfuck. So,
yeah, they got a bit of everything going on there. They eat pizza with a fork.
Well, that's just because they're assholes. Number 6 is China. Yeah, China's got. Yeah, I mean, you know,
real Chinese food.
Real Chinese food is something crazy to behold. I mean, everybody eats from one huge plate. You know, and basically what the Chinese family would typically have is like almost like a lazy Susan type of deal in the middle of their table, and then there'd be just like a heap of food there, and you just spin the thing around until something you like comes up, jam your chopsticks in there, and eat that shit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm terrible with chopsticks.
Specific things like duck pancakes, sweet corn soup. You know, they have really good food there. Spring
sweet
rolls,
corn soup
dumplings.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Number 5, Mexico.
I mean, duh. Come on. Like, Mexican food.
Now, here's the thing. Like, most people, when they think of Mexican food, they're really thinking of Texan food. But, like, you know, the typical tacos and burritos that you think of, that's from Texas. That's not from Mexico. But real Mexican food, I mean, they do have versions of it. Holy shit, is it good, though.
I'm a big fan of Mexican rice.
Yeah, rice is huge there. I mean, and then the desserts, like Mexican chocolate I mean, they mix chili peppers in with the chocolate. It gives it a whole...
It's so smart. Such a smart idea.
New, like, layer to it, you know? And
whole new layer.
Number 4 is India. I fucking love Indian food.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good. And, you know, just like America, because India is a huge country, too, they have different regions with different cuisines. Like, some places it's all about spicy, and some places it's all about sweet. You know, and then some places it's kind of a fuster-cluck. You know, I love Indian food, though.
But man, I cannot handle the crazy spice. Like when it gets ridiculous, I can't do it.
What's the spiciest curry that you've sampled?
Hot.
No, that doesn't help. I mean, have you had vindaloo?
Yes, I have actually had vindaloo, and that was too much.
I love vindaloo. Love it.
What sucks is it's tasty, but I can't finish it.
Love vindaloo. I'll finish it for you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3 is Italy.
I knew it'd be up there. Top 3.
Just one word. Pasta.
Pasta primavera.
Pasta. Pasta primavera is with vegetables, in case you didn't
know. Pasta fagioli.
I hate pasta fagioli.
Yeah?
Hate it.
Why?
Okay. Pasta fagioli is to normal pasta dishes as Spam is to ham.
I don't got a problem with Spam.
Okay, but wouldn't you rather have ham?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would.
Okay, and when you grow up a little bit on the poor side, and you know you're getting pasta fagioli multiple times a week because it's cheap to make, you get a little burnt out on it.
You get sick of it.
I got sick of it real fast, and now I can't even look at it. But let's just say, okay, Italy has all kinds of pasta, amazing cheeses, wines, all kinds of crazy crap. The bread, Italian bread, is to die for. And then their desserts, tiramisu. Gelato.
Oh, damn.
Holy fuck, right? And then, of course, you know, I mentioned it with America because we perfected it, but they did invent pizza.
You got to give them props for inventing the pizza.
And then, you know, and then they'll take something like an eggplant, this tough gourd, and they'll make something delicious like eggplant parmesan out of it.
Eggplant parmesan.
They're like, this vegetable is really hard to chew and it doesn't taste good. What should we do? How about we fry it and smother it with cheese?
Just cheese the shit out of it.
Yeah. You could take just about anything and fry it and put cheese on it. It's gonna be good. All right. Number 2 is Japan.
Oh, yeah, you said Japan. It's up there, top 2.
I mean, we can kind of, like, by process of elimination, guess what number 1 is. But just to talk about Japan, I mean, they have so many different, things. I mean, they invented ramen. We bastardized it. We made it worse, but real Japanese ramen is amazing. They're really big on fish, obviously. I mean, it is an island nation. Sushi, sashimi, all kinds of crap. Then tempura. Love tempura.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you ever have a swordfish steak? That's another amazing thing.
Can't say I have.
Oh, wow. You ever hear the phrase where somebody says it melts in your mouth?
Yeah, like talking about meat.
Yeah, it literally does.
That's so wild.
It is crazy. It tastes like beef, but then it melts in your mouth and it has this different texture. It's the weirdest thing, swordfish.
Melts in your mouth, not in your hands.
and Japan is another place that will take like the grossest shit and make it delicious, like the fish eggs and the sea urchin and all kinds of crazy crap. They make it good.
Sea urchin. Can't say I've had sea urchin.
I've had. It's actually really good. Number 1's France. There's a shocking twist. There was a joke from. Do you remember that cartoon on Comedy Central, Dr. Katz?
Yeah, all the people were made out of squiggly lines.
Yeah, it was Squiggle Vision. Yeah, there was a joke on Dr. Katz where it was like, "Do you know what French food is? It's like American food but glazed."
Oh shit, that's a good analysis.
But you know what makes France and French food so great is not so much the food that comes out of there, but the techniques. They were the first nation that said, hey, maybe we don't need to boil everything. Maybe we could put some thought into it and actually enjoy our food. The whole culture of enjoying food and not just eating it to stay alive came from France.
It's more than just sustenance.
Absolutely,
it's an art form.
They believe that. They live that, And then, once again, they'll take the grossest shit, like snails and frogs and mussels, and turn it into something good.
Turn it into expensive food.
Wow. Let me put it to you this way. The guy who's got to shuck those snails, they don't pay him enough, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You want to look at my big baguette?
The techniques, they're the ones that came up with all the sauces and all the techniques that you use and all the equipment, the word chef is just the French word for boss.
Yeah, le chef.
Chef de cuisine, right? So, yeah, there's no shock there. What do you think out of the 15 that I did? Because there's 50 of them on the page, and then I could load more. But I think the 2 Koreas was a little weird. I think that was a bit of an error.
Yeah, because one was just Korea. It wasn't South or North.
Yeah. By the way, if we had discounted that number 16 was England.
Really?
Yeah. It's sort of...
Well, fish and chips?
Old punchline that English food is bad, but you think they invented the roast dinner, the shepherd's pie, fish and chips, pork and pie, sausages with mashed potatoes, that comes from England,
Bangers and mash, it's really good.
And then their desserts, the Victoria sponge, the trifles, custard.
But people always point out the gross ones. Every country's got the gross ones.
You know what it is that you make jokes about things like jellied eels. Nobody's eaten that since the 70s.
It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. Bruh. It's long. I mean,
my parents were alive.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, you won't feel old when I tell you that was 45 years ago.
Yeah, I know. It's before I was born. I get it. I know how time works.
All right, just to run down, let's rate it, and then I'll just tell you some of the other ones that are on there. But out of 15, I'm going to say 14. I mean, other than that Korea snafu, I think that it was pretty accurate.
I gotta agree with you because of that Korea Snafu 14.
Got to talk about food. Just a rundown, like if I was going to go from number 17 onwards, it's like Greece, Lebanon, Germany, Turkey, Morocco, Taiwan, Laos, Belgium, Portugal, Algeria, Indonesia, Tunisia, Sweden, the Philippines, Denmark, Malaysia, Scotland, the UK. See, that includes England.
What?
You guys gotta think about this. Like that England is part of the UK, so don't put the UK on there. Put like Wales, and it includes Scotland as well. Like, what are you doing? Bhutan.
That's another problem.
You know what? If any of those should have been higher, just to mention that, because I didn't even think about it till I saw it, but Germany, that should have been a little higher up there. This is the country that gave us sausage.
It's not Stroganoff.
Is Stroganoff German?
Isn't it? Wait, maybe that's Russian.
Before I look it up, I'm going to guess that I think it's Belgian, but let me look it up. It's Russian.
Yeah!
We were off. Way off.
Borscht with the beets.
Borscht is Ukrainian. That I don't need to look up to tell you.
It isn't?
It's
Ukrainian.
Russian? It's Ukrainian.
Huh.
Yeah. Trust me, I have a Ukrainian friend. He tells me about it all the time.
I got this Ukrainian friend.
My friend Joe the Cripple, is Ukrainian.
My name is NecroVMX. I have a Ukrainian friend.
He's been in one of my videos, dude. I did a show with him.
I know! The John and Joe show.
Yeah. Too bad we could never manage to do more of that, especially now that we could actually do it on YouTube, but whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to stick with top 10s for a little while now. It may be a little early for this because it's August, but I have the best video games of 2018 on here.
How about the best video games of 2018 so far?
Yeah. Well, just looking down this list, a lot of these ain't come out yet.
Well, let me guess, Red Dead Redemption 2?
Well, let's just do the top 10 because there's not a whole hell of a lot of them on here. And okay. You know what, maybe this is more like some of these are the more anticipated games, I guess, because some of these ain't out.
We can combine all those into this list.
Yeah.
Best so far, most anticipated.
Well, number 10 is one of my most anticipated. It's Mega Man 11.
Got my pre-order.
I haven't gotten it pre-ordered because I didn't get the money for it, but I'll have to figure something out. I mean, because I have a little bit of money in my Steam wallet, but I'm trying to get Dragon Quest 11 with that.
Ooh, shit.
You know, 2 11s coming out. Dragon Quest 11 and Mega Man 11.
This one goes up to 11.
Yes. And 2 of my favorite fucking series of all time.
Oh, yeah, it's a good time for NecroVMX.
It is. Mega Man 11 does look really dope. I hope it turns out to be as good as it looks.
Yeah. No more anime fans on prom night. Bullshit.
You know, I liked Mighty Number 9. It wasn't like the masterpiece we were hoping for, but it was a decent game.
It seemed okay, but for the hype, okay is not okay.
Yeah, you're right. It's, I guess the TV tropes thing would be so average it's bad.
Oh, yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
But I enjoyed it, I thought that, and maybe this is, a correct comparison, but maybe they should have thought of this. I thought that Mighty Number 9 was about as good as Mega Man 1.
Okay.
Where you have some flaws and you have some stuff you want to work out, and you definitely get the feeling that the sequel will be better. It's just a matter of, is there going to be one at this point? Probably not.
Unfortunately, it's a different environment nowadays.
Oh, yeah. And Mega Man 11 very much looks like a reply to that.
Mm-hmm. Capcom's like, we got this shit on.
Yeah, like, let's show it you how it's done. And here's the thing, like, they probably wouldn't have made it, maybe people should stop bashing on Mighty Number 9 and realize that we probably wouldn't be getting a Mega Man 11 if not for that game. So, well, I'm okay. Yeah. Now this next one I have not heard of. Number 9 is A Way Out.
Is that already out? Is it out?
I don't know.
For some reason, I get the feeling I've seen videos on YouTube.
It might be out. Like I said, some of these are out and some of these are not. Just from what I saw on here. A Way Out, I'm not familiar with this game, so I'm going to have to just kind of take their word for it.
I don't know
Number 8 is Spider-Man. This has been a hotly anticipated game ever since it was shown off, and we're recently actually seeing a lot more of it, like actual gameplay and shit, instead of just the cinematics.
It's about time that the PlayStation 2 Spider-Man 2 gets eclipsed.
Well, you know, here's the thing. It kind of already was, but because the Spider-Man games after Spider-Man 2 were varying quality, people don't know which ones to go for, you know what I mean? Like Friend or Foe is terrible.
Shattered Dimension?
Shattered Dimensions is really good. You know? Spider-Man 3, really bad.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 2, insanely bad. Ultimate Spider-Man, actually pretty good. So there's, you know, there's some give and take, but this does look like the modern equivalent of the PlayStation 2 and GameCube Spider-Man 2 that we all loved.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like that it's not based on like a movie or something. They're not holding down like we got to do it. We got to stick to like a movie. We're just doing a Spider-Man
like no Tom Holland, no Spider-Verse.
Exactly. Number 7 is Dragon Ball FighterZ. Dude, I'm not at all into Dragon Ball, as you know, but this looks like a really good game.
I have played this. I was at a friend's place who had a PlayStation 4, and it is so fun.
I mean, it looks like a, you know, kind of like a, you know, like another BlazBlue or
it looks like the fucking cartoon.
You know,
it looks like a cartoon.
Oh, yeah. Well, the people who made it clearly had a lot of love for the art and whatnot, but it looks like it plays pretty well, too.
Well, oh, yeah. I mean,
that's the important part.
It's very arcadey.
Number 6 is Fortnite. This is one of those, I hate this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I detest this shit. I am so angry at the whole Battle Royale shit right now.
I was over it when it began. It's not my genre. It's not my thing.
Here's the thing. This could have been like one of those things like an Undertale or a Minecraft where it comes out and it's like this big thing and I just kind of don't care about it. But on the other hand, I'm not hating on it, but I'm definitely hating on PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and Fortnite and these kinds of games because of what it's doing. Like everything has to be this now. They took Black Ops 4 from us. Did you know
there's not going to be a Black Ops 4?
There is a Black Ops 4. It's coming out soon. It's a fucking Battle Royale game with no single-player campaign. I'm not going to fucking buy that. I ain't going to buy that. And how dare they could have called it Call of Duty Battle Royale to call that Black Ops 4 when it's not the sequel to Black Ops 3?
No love lost for me, but I know I know it's a series
it's like Final
you really
Fantasy
like.
X.
What do you mean it's like Final Fantasy X?
Not 10. Sorry, 11.
Oh, yeah.
Or 14.
Yeah, well, just call it Final Fantasy Online.
No, yeah, exactly. Now that I can understand a little bit because each Final Fantasy game is different. 10 is not a sequel to 9. But the Black Ops series, each one followed the last one, you know? So that just kind of pissed me off. Number 5 is Detroit Become Human. Haven't played it. Looks decent.
I haven't heard anything good nor bad, so I can't really
it sounds like
say
you've heard nothing.
Anything.
Number 4 is definitely an anticipated game because this is not out. Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean,
it is.
Just based on the pedigree of not only the original Red Dead Redemption and the game before that, which was, you know, not on that same level but still very good, but just the fact that, you know, this is a developer that kind of, you know, hits it out of the park every time.
Wouldn't it be weird if it came out and it was a complete ball of shit?
That would be hilarious, yeah. Number 3 is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
That's just gonna. I mean, everybody is going to own that game, even if they don't have a Switch.
Well, they better get a Switch because that's the only system it's on.
Exactly.
I mean, how many characters are we up to now? I think we had 65 when the first trailer came out, and the only new characters that they had shown you was like the Inkling and like Daisy and Ridley, and now it's like, oh, but also Simon Belmont. Oh,
you must be over the moon about that.
And oh yes, absolutely, and Richter Belmont. And
now, are they the same or are they different?
Echo Fighter. Richter's an Echo Fighter, and
Echo, okay,
and in King K. Rool, who people have been asking for forever, you know, and Chrom is another character people have been asking for. And I think that I might be even missing a few of the minor ones that they announced, but it's just crazy. And then even like the assists, like Shovel Knight is in there, you know. It's just crazy what they're doing with this. They really, I mean, this is Sakurai's game of saying, never ask me for anything again. And you know what? I think it's going to have a story mode.
Oh, you think it'll have another, what was it called in Brawl?
Subspace Emissary.
Subspace Emissary,
I think they're going to do something. They might not be called that, but I think they're going to do something like that. And I'll tell you why. Because in the most recent Smash Direct, when they were showing off the new characters like Simon and Richter and King K. Rool and whatnot, you know, all very exciting, and Chrom, but they had blurred out part of the screen. The menu.
Oh.
There was a part of the menu they had blurred out, or not blurred out, pixelated. You know, they censored it. And they mentioned something about characters showing up as bosses. And then they said that there's a mode that they can't talk about. And I'm thinking, like, what, like Smash 4, amazing game. What was the one biggest criticism? No campaign. And it's like, yeah, like Smash 1 and Melee didn't have it, but Brawl introduced that, and it was really fun.
I had a ball with the Subspace Emissary.
I was actually thinking of Let's Play in that.
Oh, just that'd be fun.
Subspace Emissary.
Yeah, why not?
I may do that. I mean, I'm recording like 2 games right now, so... I'm recording, by the way, just so anybody knows, because I did talk about this on YouTube and on Facebook and Twitter, I am recording Xenoblade Chronicles, so that is going to happen. It's just that the game is ridiculously long.
Get ready for that shit.
I'm 30 episodes in it. I'm about 18 hours into the game. You know, I've barely scratched the surface. So what I'm doing is every once in a while I take a break and record something else.
Wow, that is a beefy game.
I mean, it really is. The second time I played through it, which was the 3DS version, I clocked out at 140 hours.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So it's going to be a long, long Let's Play. And I asked people, I said, look, you know, I know my views are low right now and everything, and I don't give a fuck, but I want to know that, are you guys going to watch it and give me some comments? Because that's what I care about. And I got quite a few people telling me that they're really interested in it. So
he needs the acknowledgement, people.
I need the engagement is what I need. Number 2, Far Cry 5. I mean, okay.
Did people say it was good?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. They all kind of run together at the same time. You know, I mean, Far Cry was this game that came out that nobody fucking gave a shit about it other than the graphics were really pretty. And Far Cry 2 is much of the same. Far Cry 3 was where it kind of took off, but then all of a sudden it's 4 and Far Cry Primal, and then like it's like they're all coming out so fast, and I'm like, holy shit. And it's
I gotta say, Blood Dragon looks pretty fun.
Yeah, and then there's those, you know, and there was something similar to that coming out for Far Cry 5. It's like a whole different game, but it's an expansion. I don't know.
Weird.
Okay, number 1 is God of War. I'm actually not surprised by that. That was a game that, like, man, I don't have PlayStation 4, so that's why I haven't played it, but it looks really good, and it became, you know, like such a meme for a while. Like, everybody was talking about God, you know, boy. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it plays like God of War, and God of War is really good.
I mean, well, God of War, I mean, you know, you did the 3 games. There were some spin-offs and shit, but let's just talk about the 3 games, you know, of about Kratos conquering, you know, the entire Greek pantheon. And after God of War 3 came out, I remember there was a joke on Penny Arcade where, you know, like after Kratos kills Zeus and all, and they said, all right, that's it. No more God of War games, right? All the gods are dead, right? And Taiko was like, oh, there are other gods. And then it shows like this mock-up image of Kratos fighting Jesus, which I thought was pretty funny. But, you know, but like taking it to the Norse gods, that's pretty cool idea.
That just opens it up to what other denominations can we do?
I mean, they did 3 games based on the Greeks. You know, so you could do quite a bit on Norse, and then there's Egyptian, there's Chinese, there's all sorts of shit you can go into.
That's the place that I'd want him to go next, is Egypt.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, all right, well, anyway, out of 10, you know, I mean, I find it a little awkward because, like I said, some of these aren't out yet, but the ones that aren't out yet, like, we kind of figured they're going to be pretty great, so I'll give it an 8.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, an 8.
Yeah. Like some of these games, I'm like just looking down the rest of the list. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, Okay, I just want to say, Doom Eternal should have been in the top 10.
When's that out?
Fairly soon, I think. I've been watching footage of it. It looks spectacular. And then, like, okay, Shadow of the Colossus, like, no, that's an old game. What do you... is this a remake? Are they remastering it again? Because didn't they already remaster for PS3?
They did that thing where it's the same game but just made it look prettier. But there is one for PS4 that is a complete overhaul remake.
So it's from the ground up remake?
And it looks gorgeous.
Wow. Are they going to do like Eco or?
I don't know about that.
That'd be an interesting thing to see, right? What are you giving this list, by the way? I gave it an 8.
I said I agreed with you with an 8.
Oh, I did not hear you say that. Okay, how about top video game characters?
Yes, let's get into more video games.
How many of these do you want to do?
I don't know.
Pick a number.
2.
Oh, fuck off. 2.
Oh, I thought you meant lists.
No, how many? Because this is the top10s.com, man.
15. 15 was good.
15?
15 was good.
Okay. So what do you think? Give me like top 3 for you, video game characters.
You got your Mario, you got your Link.
I don't know if Link would be in the top 3.
Top 3?
I don't think so.
Sonic?
Sonic? I could maybe see Sonic. Because he's kind of transcended games. See, that's what I think.
The guy you play as in Fortnite?
Mario and Sonic kind of transcended games. Like, Link is still just like a game character. So, like, I would say Mario and Sonic, and then maybe something like the Master Chief could be in there.
He has a character?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Really?
I mean, it's only slightly more developed than the Doom guy, but it's still just like it's a brand, sort of. Like, you see the logo of the helmet, and you immediately know what it is.
I'd love if Doom guy was on there. The one from the comic book.
No, I'm radioactive. That can't be good. You're big. That just means you have big guts.
Fuck.
I could quote that comic at you all day. It was so bad. All right. Number 15. We just got done talking about this guy, Kratos.
Kratos. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Kratos. You know what? You know what's really interesting about Kratos? Like, he was in Mortal Kombat that one time.
That one time.
He was in the 9th Mortal Kombat game, the one that was just called Mortal Kombat. Yeah. Only in the PlayStation versions.
Yeah.
Xbox, PC, we didn't get Kratos, but Vita and PS3 got Kratos. And they actually did certain things with him that I thought were kind of funny. Like, there's a fatality in the game where Noob Saibot grows really big and then, like, stomps on you. Oh, no, sorry, Ermac does it. Ermac, he just, like, does the thing. He grows really big and he steps on the other character. And, like, all the characters kind of have the same animation of, like, kind of cowering in fear, whereas Kratos kind of, like, is like, come at me, bro.
Oh, awesome.
He's used to really big things,
He's got machismo.
Boy. All right, number 14 is Bowser.
All right.
Bowser's hilarious. Like one of my nephews asked me, is Bowser a bad guy or a good guy? Because he's kind of confused because, like, Bowser's the bad guy you fight in the Mario games, and then they're, like, playing tennis and go-karts with him.
I would quote Wreck-It Ralph in that he's a bad guy, but he's not a bad guy.
Well, what I said is that I always thought, like, Bowser's not evil, he's just a jerk.
Yeah, it's kind of like the asshole neighbor that asks for things and never repays you back.
Well, I mean, he does kidnap the princess, but he never really hurts her.
No, that's the thing. And
He doesn't really do anything irreversible or really evil. Like, Mario Galaxy, what was he really... Like, okay, Mario Galaxy 2, rather. What was he really doing that was so bad in Mario Galaxy 2?
I don't know. All those galaxies that you visit seem like they were fine.
It's pretty cool shit, right?
Yeah.
Number 13 is Cloud. Well, I have mixed feelings about Cloud.
Why? Because he turns into a bitch boy halfway through the game?
Well, on the one hand, he's really kind of complicated, and that I like. I like that there's more to him. He's very one note at first, and then as you go through the game, it kind of reveals more about him, and I think that's cool. But at the same time, like, he's kind of a douche.
Yeah, he certainly has, maybe not asshole qualities, more douchey. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I don't need to add to that.
Yeah. Number 12 is Nathan Drake. I can get behind that.
I've only ever played the first game for like 20 minutes, and it was great.
Well, speaking of him as a character, like Uncharted is pretty much like somebody said, what if Tomb Raider with a guy? And that's, fine, because Tomb Raider was like, what if Indiana Jones with tits anyway? But in 3 games, they did more with his... Well, even in 1 game, they did more with him as a character than they did in the whole Tomb Raider series.
They had to... How many times did they have to reinvent her, Lara Croft?
Well,
Lara Croft.
I mean, they only kind of really reinvented her once, which is the most recent, the new series, which is actually very good. I mean, they changed developers, but they kind of never really reinvented. When did they ever reinvent her as a character?
Oh, well, yeah, I guess.
All right, number 11. I can't get behind this. Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow's awful. Shadow the Hedgehog is such a cool character if you're 11 years old.
Careful, Shadow. You're going to cut yourself on all those edges.
You just said it better than I could have. He's Shadow the Edgehog.
Oh!
All right, so number 10 is Ezio Auditore.
Come again?
Ezio from Assassin's Creed 2 and its many, many sequels.
Oh, I've never played those games. I don't know.
Do you remember how they did a game, Assassin's Creed, and then they did Assassin's Creed 2, and then there was like a whole shitload of other games with like weird titles, and then all of a sudden it was 3?
Yeah, so all those other colon something are Ezio?
Yeah, because each Assassin's Creed game is like a different guy, but Ezio was so popular that his game got a bunch of sequels.
Oh, good for Ezio.
Because he had unlike the first character, most people couldn't even name who the guy in the first. It was a guy named Altair, just kind of a bland ninja guy, who cares? But Ezio actually had a bit of a personality, so.
Ubisoft just shat those things out, man.
They really do. And it's weird because they'll get to the point where it gets really, really bad and you think, oh god, this is ended already. And then the next one will be good.
Like the Black Flag?
Well, I was thinking more like how, what was that one that was terrible? Was it Unity? I think it was Assassin's Creed Unity, and it was just it was a buggy mess. And everybody's just end this already. And then the next one they came out with was Syndicate, which was universally called the best one.
Oh, okay.
So, number 9 is Yoshi. I mean, he's cool. He's cute. I don't
there
know
is
much of
there
a
is
character.
Zero depth to this guy.
Yeah, but there doesn't need to be. Sometimes it's just an aesthetic. I mean, and then you get these games like Yoshi's already kind of disgustingly cute.
Yeah.
And then you come out with a game like Yoshi's Woolly World.
Aww.
And it becomes just mind-bendingly cute. So and I mean, he's got a lot of personality with the noises he makes and shit. Yeah, they haven't done a whole lot with him as a story, but he's a Mario character. You can't really expect much in that.
Well, you got Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Yeah, I like that one more than the original.
All right, number 8. Speaking, characters who don't have a lot of depth but have a lot of branding potential. Number 8 is Pikachu.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, he says his own name and that's it.
Here's the thing about Pikachu. There are 800 goddamn Pokemon. But you can take somebody that knows 0 about Pokemon. They're going to know what Pikachu is and basically what he looks like.
It's like what people thought of Mario in the late 80s. So
or Mickey Mouse before that.
Yeah, sure.
It's that kind of branding. Yeah, I mean
instant
that's
recognition.
Yeah, that's very strong. Number 7 is Samus Aran. I feel like she got hit by too much character development.
Other M. It just did it, man.
Just not only was it just a subpar game in general, but they took all the mystery out of Samus, and a lot of people, including myself, felt like we liked it better when she was the stoic badass that we didn't.
They took away her teeth.
They took away everything that made her cool.
Yeah.
So everything other than Other M. There's a lot of cool shit to Samus.
Even the recent remake of Metroid 2 is pretty badass.
Samus Returns, yeah, that's a good game. Number 6 is Solid Snake.
Metal Gear.
You know, if I was going to include one of these guys, it would probably be the other Snake.
Liquid?
No, Naked Snake.
Oh.
You know, the one that's in the really good games.
Oh, okay.
You know, like 3, your favorite?
Oh, yeah, that's what he was... Okay, so the last time I played that was like
the prequel ones are all... The prequel ones, you know, the really good ones.
Yeah, 3 is my favorite.
There you go. Number 5 is Luigi.
What's he doing on the list?
I mean, Luigi?
Green, not Mario.
You know, it's interesting because that's like, you know, they created a character based on the concept of Player 2.
Yeah.
It's pretty hilarious when you think about it.
If you do think about it, there are more dimensions to Luigi than there are Mario.
Possibly, and like he doesn't have nearly the branding and like the instant recognizable that Mario has. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he does have more of a personality to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can tell like things about his personality, like he's scared of ghosts, for example. You don't know this shit about Mario. What do you know about Mario as a guy?
How Luigi feels about living in his brother's shadow. Like all that stuff explained like the Mario and Luigi games.
And there was the year of Luigi.
Yeah. That happened.
It did happen.
It kind of came and went.
I mean, you say it came and went, but they actually extended it by quite a few months. I mean, he got his own side-scrolling game, which was actually really good.
Yeah, it's just more of the same.
A sequel to Luigi's Mansion that people have been asking for like forever.
On the 3DS, and it's real good.
Yeah. Number 4 is Kirby. Okay, here's the thing about Kirby and why I like him as a character, because Kirby is no doubt like one of the cutest characters in the world. He started off as a placeholder because they were working on a game, and they just drew a very simple circle with eyes as a placeholder, and Masahiro Sakurai was like, why don't we just go with that, it's really cute. And Kirby was born, you know, they just made him pink and gave him a couple of personality quirks, and there you go. And then there's the other side where Kirby is undoubtedly a sociopath.
So what, just eats everything?
I mean, he first of all, he murders the shit out of anything that comes by him.
Well, yeah, to eat something is murder.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's alive.
Yeah, but not even in the games, like Kirby's Epic Yarn. Right? He doesn't eat anything in that. He just rips things apart. And most of the enemies don't actually attack you.
It is a very safe game.
Like, Waddle Dees, unless they're carrying a weapon, they actually cannot harm you. They can't even... They can maybe bump you off a platform if they keep smashing into you. It's like... And then Kirby just rips them to shreds. He just eats everything in his path without regard for any kind of safety. King Dedede's trying to protect the Star Rod, and Kirby just comes around and starts beating the shit out of him.
Protecting it? I thought he wanted to rule Dreamland, or something.
Well, no, but that was the first game. But then in Kirby's Adventure, they revealed that it was all a misunderstanding, that Dedede was actually protecting the Star Rod from something that was actually evil.
Way to go, Kirby.
Yeah. So he's such an interesting character to me because of that. Number 3 is the Master Chief. I told you he'd be in the top 3. It's just it's the aesthetic of the helmet and the cool voice. That's really all it is.
So he's like a Boba Fett.
Well, he actually does things, though. Boba Fett just kind of stands around and points.
Falls into a pit.
Yeah. He dies in the most bitch way possible.
But I've never played any of the Halo games because I don't care to. So well, you know, I have no basis for his character. You know,
you're not into FPSs, and that's perfectly fine. It's just not your cup of tea. But I'm talking about as a character, And we've talked about this several times, is the recognition. You don't have to have played Halo to know what Master Chief looks like.
And personally, when I see a Master Chief, I think, oh, Xbox.
Yeah, exactly. And he's become the Xbox icon.
The flagship.
Yeah. Number 2 is Sonic. I mean, as much as the games have gotten better, he sort of transcends video games. There's been cartoons. There's been all sorts of shit. They're making a live-action movie.
How? What?
I don't understand it, but they're doing it.
Well, he has come back around with Sonic Mania.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Very.
I'm sorry. One good game in the past 10 years is not really.
Maybe this is
a lot of confidence.
Maybe this is the renaissance.
I hope so. No, it's just they finally gave it to a good developer is what happened.
There you go.
Yeah. Number 1's Mario. I mean, you know, like, not only, like, Mario is not only, like, the flagship Nintendo guy, he kind of represents video games.
Yeah, like your parents might say, go play Mario, but you're playing, like, Xbox.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I mean, who doesn't know what Mario looks like? He's a fat guy with a mustache, a red outfit, and blue overalls.
And yet somehow one of the most athletic characters in video games.
Maybe he's just stocky.
Oh yeah, he's the George Costanza of video game characters.
There you go. All right, out of 15, the only thing I kind of disagree with on here is Shadow the Hedgehog. I mean, I had mixed feelings about Cloud, but I understand why he's on there. I'm going to give it a 14.
Gonna give it a 13.
And by the way, if we took Shadow the Hedgehog off, the next one down would have been John Marston.
Who's that again?
The guy from Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, I never played that game.
Oh, it's a damn good... You know what I recommend is you just watch a Let's Play or something. It's a damn good story.
Yeah, but it's a Western.
So? It's a
I don't like Westerns.
It's a really fucking good Western, dude. All right. Now, I want to do this next one. It's another video game list from the same website. I want to do this because I feel this has the potential to be so ridiculously stupid.
Ooh, I like stupid.
It's a listing of the most powerful video game characters.
Uh-oh. Okay. Okay.
I want to do a little more than 15 here. Let's do 25.
25.
Okay.
It better have their power level.
No, there's no power level. I mean, remember, this site is like one of those kind of things where people vote on it. That's why I think it's going to be a clusterfuck.
Yeah, it's going to be a hot mess, and I love it.
Exactly. Okay, so number 25 is Strider Hayu. Strider Hayu is really interesting because, like, he dies in 2 hits, but he could also cut through gods easily.
With his, like, arm.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you're right. Even though he uses the sword, at the same time that they were working on the first Strider game, there was a manga that came out. And they portrayed him as so ridiculously powerful that he could cut through people just by, you know, like with a karate chop.
Mm-hmm. It's just, I think in, like, the first arcade game, I can't really see the sword, so it just looks like he's making a giant slice with his arm.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's supposed to be kind of like a lightsaber kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just so damn quick that dude's got arms.
Thing, you know, but the arm thing is a real thing because they had that in the manga. You know, I only know about that because he was in Death Battle fighting Raiden. So
Death Battle.
Oh. Strider's cool. I don't know that he's one of the most powerful characters, but he's pretty cool. Number 23 is Azrael from Undertale, which...
You mean 24?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, there is a number 24. It's Chuck Norris from Mugen. First of all, Chuck Norris is a real guy. Putting him into Mugen does not make him a video game character.
Chuck Norris super kicks.
Yeah, but have you ever played that? He's not powerful at all. He can't do shit.
It's awful.
He can't do shit. He just gets
and Mugen, that's like a...
it's not a game, it's an engine.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that. That's stupid. All right, I told you it would be stupid. Azrael from Undertale. I don't know anything about Undertale other than...
Wait. Azrael Dreamer. Yeah, he's pretty powerful because he takes all the souls of the underground and becomes one with them. It's pretty fucked.
Okay. Number 22 is Arceus.
Arceus?
Arceus.
Arceus. What's that from?
It's from Pokemon. And he's literally God.
Like Pokegod?
He's the god of... Well, okay. He's the god of the Sinnoh region.
Oh.
But it's suggested that he created the entire Pokemon universe.
Like including people?
Yeah. Yeah, it's heavily suggested that he created the whole world.
And yet we can trap him in a tiny ball.
Well, see, that's the thing. He's a mythical Pokemon, so the only way that you can encounter him is through an event. So you would have to be gifted an Arceus. And what's interesting about him is that he has no type. Well, I mean, he's normal type, but you can give him these items called plates, and you give them to him, and he becomes not one of the other 17 types.
17 types.
Yeah.
Wow.
He has a signature move called Judgment, which is just a really powerful move that takes on the type of whatever plate he's holding.
Oh, what if he's not holding any?
Then it's normal type.
Oh. Well, that's a stupid question.
Arceus is really cool. He doesn't actually do anything in the Pokemon games, though.
Wait, what?
Well, he's mythical, so he doesn't... See, you know what a legendary Pokemon is, right?
Yeah.
Now, a mythical is a Pokemon that doesn't actually appear in the games. Like Mew.
Wait, okay.
Like Mew was one of the original 151. It was number 151, but you could not encounter it in the game. Unless
you had to get it from that bloody event.
Yeah, I mean you could glitch it. There is a very reliable glitch that you could use to encounter Mew, but that's obviously not on purpose. So each generation has usually only one. A few generations have more than one, but it's usually only one mythical. And Arceus is a mythical. You'll never actually run into him. So there's that. Okay, so how is number 21 Luigi? I'm trying to understand that.
Maybe in Smash Brothers he's OP? I don't know.
You know what? I think it's probably the meme of Luigi wins by doing nothing.
That's a meme? Damn, I'm not up on my memes.
These videos, it has sometimes it's Smash Brothers, sometimes it's Mario Party, and it takes advantage of a unique quirk in the way that Nintendo codes their AIs. Like, you know how in Smash Brothers the level 9 CPUs are kind of tough?
Yeah.
The reason is because they're usually reading your inputs. They're reacting to what you're doing. But sometimes, if you just stand there, they don't know what the fuck to do.
Because they can't react.
There's nothing to react to, so sometimes they just start jumping around like crazy, and usually they'll wind up falling off the stage. And usually they like to do it with Luigi because he's such a goofy character. And even the Smash Brothers announcer, when he announces the winner and he says Luigi, it's like a tone of surprise, like, Luigi?
Luigi?
Number 20 is Zeus from God of War. I would hope that Kratos would be a little higher because he got killed by Kratos, but yeah.
Yeah, but to be fair, it's Zeus. He's a god. He shoots lightning bolts from his giant arms.
Yeah. Number 19 is I mean, think of it. We just talked about Arceus and how he's got Zeus is literally the god of the of the Greek religion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, he's the father. Well, actually, I guess he's not the father of all the gods because there's the Titans and whatnot, but
he's the big dog.
Yeah, he's in charge. He's
the alpha male.
Number 20, not 20. Number 19 is Kazuya Mishima. Isn't this just some dude from Tekken? I know that he has superpowers, but he still just gets down and dirty and punches people. So
well, all you gotta do is just put the controller on the ground and start punching it, and you win.
Any character's OP at that point. I think they're talking about the lore and how powerful he's in the lore, and I couldn't give a shit about the lore of Tekken.
I have no idea.
Yeah, neither do I. Number 18 is Link. See, here's the thing about Link. He's not that powerful. He just has a lot of cool shit.
Well, he also has one of the 3 Triforces kind of bound to him.
Yeah, well, in some of the games, yeah, he does have that.
Well, okay, yeah, it's like which Link are we talking about?
Yeah, in some of the games he has that, and some of them he doesn't have shit. In some of them he's split into 4 dudes. I mean,
yeah,
or 3 dudes.
It ain't fucking Zelda 2, Link.
Yeah. Number 17 is Thor. I guess there was a Thor video game, or are they talking about like God of War? I don't understand that.
God of Thor?
Are you Thor? God of Hammers? Number 16 is Rosalina from Mario. Well, she could just reset the universe anytime she kind of feels like it.
Which, when you think about it, it's like, why not?
Just everything's reset, right?
Just pull a Thanos and snap.
Do you remember the guy on YouTube, the game, what was he called? The Overthinker or something like that?
No.
Oh, God, I'm fucking it up. He was a pretty popular YouTuber back in the day.
Irate Gamer?
No. He was a guy who just overthought everything, and he had these like wild theories. And one of them was that Rosalina was literally the Mario equivalent of God. That she's the mother of the stars, and she created the universe. And I was like, you know what? This is one of his less kooky theories.
But
I can't remember what this guy's name was.
But maybe though.
Yeah, he was literally called the Game Overthinker.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he stopped his channel like a couple of years ago, so he's not on the radar anymore.
But I mean, if like it sounds like it makes sense.
Yeah, he certainly framed it in a way that made a lot more sense than my oversimplification.
Yeah.
Number 15 is Tails. I mean, unless you're going with like the goofy, like dorkly thing where like Tails literally can't die.
He can't die. I saw that not long ago.
Well, because they put it in a compilation of their darkest dorkly bits.
That's the one I saw.
I had to skip around that because there's a few of those I can't really deal with.
Really?
Yeah,
Dude, they're video game characters.
No, there's a few of those that were a little too dark for me.
Oh, I didn't have a problem with any. What does that say about me?
Well, like the Pokemon one where they like that you choose one and the rival chooses the other, and then the third one gets euthanized.
Yeah. Oh, that was like, they did it.
Much.
They did it.
They went there. Yeah. Speaking of Pokemon, number 14 is Mewtwo. Now, I mean, Mewtwo's like really very strong, but you're putting him below or above Arceus. It's kind of weird.
Well, this is voted on, and maybe it's a Smash thing. I mean,
okay, so like lore-wise, Arceus would be more powerful.
Right.
Competitive battling-wise, I'd rather have a Mewtwo.
There you go. So, like, what kind of powerful are we talking about, Again, it's all about the court of public opinion.
Like, in Gen 1, he was ridiculous. It was broken, it was unfair. If the other person had a Mewtwo, you would just call them a dick and just not even play with them.
Yeah, you'd have to separate the link cable.
He didn't have a weakness. He was only weak to bug-type move. There was no bug-type moves. There was like, Pin Missile that does shit. His special defense was like way high. He could just wreck you. They toned him down a little bit after that, and then in Gen 6 they gave him Mega Mewtwo, but there's 2 Mega Mewtwo's.
2 Mega Mewtwo's?
There's Mega Mewtwo X and Mega Mewtwo Y, and one of them's a physical powerhouse. So like his only real weakness is that he's not that strong against physical attacks, but then if somebody has that physical Mewtwo, it's just, then he becomes a fighting type. It's like, fuck you. So,
all right.
I mean, Arceus is just like, okay, and that's the thing about Arceus is that you could visually look at him based on what color he is, what type he is. So you kind of know everything about an Arceus right when it comes out onto the field. Mewtwo, just, it's kind of like, okay, shit your pants now.
Yeah.
Number 13 is Alex Mercer from Prototype.
I'm not familiar with that.
It was a really cool game. I don't know much about the characters, but it was... Do you remember that Hulk game on the GameCube?
I remember it existing.
Oh, you never played it?
No.
The same people who made that went on to make Prototype, and you know, like the main guy is like this like superhero with like these electric powers, and you got like the open world, and you just like smash the crap out of everything. It's a cool game.
I don't know. I can't. When you say electric powers, I keep thinking of Infamous.
It's not that different, to be honest.
No.
Number 12 is Mario. I mean, when you think about it, like Mario's like main claim to fame with power is that he's really weird.
Well, he can jump. That's his thing.
Yeah, he can jump like 12 times higher than a normal person and smash you to death with his body weight.
Well,
like,
I mean, like Goombas are kind of meant to be squashed, though.
I'm sure they would disagree with you, but here's the thing. Just like take it from like Super Smash Brothers. This is a guy who like just shoots fire out of his fingers for no reason, has this magic cape that appears out of nowhere, you know, can make like punch you so hard that money flies out of your body.
But that's best of Mario. That's not just straight up Mario.
I mean, like, what am I going to compare? He's different in every game, so I'm just kind of taking it by Smash Brothers, you know?
I guess so. I don't know.
He's just a weird character. I don't know how powerful I would really call him, but he is just strange.
He's got some weird powers.
Yeah.
But he does get a lot of them from things. He's like another Link.
Sometimes he can fly.
With the aid of stuff.
Sometimes he can breathe in space without the aid of anything.
Well, it's because of video games. So yeah, that's a good power.
He's just a weird guy. Number 11 is Onai from Street Fighter.
Which one does he look like?
He's like the alternate like version of Akuma. Like, you know how like Akuma was like if Ryu went bad.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and then you know how Ryu has that master Goken who like taught him everything. Onai is like if Goku, what's this fucking name? I just said it too.
Aku.
I just said his name too, and now I can't think of it. I keep thinking Goku now.
Well, got yourself in a cycle.
Well, that guy. If he went bad, he'd be like Onai. Onai is just ridiculous.
Who's that guy who's like half blue and half red and looks ridiculous?
Gil.
That guy looks ridiculous.
He looks ridiculous, but he's also an asshole to fight.
Oh. Well, he's
basically like Street Fighter 3 was weird because like you get to the end and there's Gil and you realize that all of a sudden you're playing King of Fighters.
I don't know. When he walks out, I'm just thinking, okay, this guy, he's the guy who's like, look at me, I shaved my chest today. Like, all right, thanks,
considering one half of him is fire and the other is ice, I don't think he has the ability to grow any chest hairs. They'd either burn or freeze right off. He doesn't need to shave his chest. Number 10 is the Master Chief. How powerful is he really? I thought it was all the suit.
Well, but if Samus is in there, isn't that all the suit too? If Samus is in here?
Yeah, but Samus can like fucking turn into a ball.
But isn't that part of the suit?
Wait. I don't know. Is it? I mean, when you think about it, like, how would that even work? How does a person become
Maybe
a ball?
The suit manipulates
we're not
the
talking
DNA?
about Samus because Samus is not on the list as far as we know. We're talking about Master Chief. Now, I guess you could say he's more skilled because, you know, there are a lot of these Spartan guys running around, and he's the one that always survives. But, I mean, that's skill. That's not power. I mean, the guy has a power suit. It heals him. He uses guns. He's just really skilled. I don't know how powerful he is.
He just got the tools.
Yeah, and knows how to use them. Number 9 is The Apprentice from Star Wars The Force Unleashed.
I mean, some people would call him Star Killer.
I thought Star Killer was the second game.
Oh, so okay. Well, I don't know. I've only played the first one. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Number 8 is Shadow the Hedgehog.
Really? Well, he was. Isn't he supposed to be the ultimate life form?
Yeah, I guess so.
A hedgehog?
I guess he's the only other one in the game that can turn into like a super form too, like with the emeralds. I don't know.
But what about that giant water thing from or Chaos?
What about
that? Isn't that also like supposed to be the ultimate life form?
Yeah, but you beat it, don't you?
Yeah, but you also beat the hell out of Edgelord there.
Yeah, well, I guess. I don't know. I don't really agree with that. This list is ridiculous. That's why we're doing it, remember?
Yeah.
Number 7, Sephiroth. I mean, Sephiroth is crazy because at the one hand, he can do a spell that destroys the solar system.
Yeah.
Like, it goes through the planets, and you see all these planets just getting bodied, and then it literally can't kill your characters.
Yeah, you just see Cloud kind of go, oh.
You can't die from that spell.
No.
Because it does a percentage of your health.
And a
then
percent
he
of a...
can
Yeah,
do it
yeah,
again.
yeah.
And then if the fight goes on long enough, he could do it again? Like, do those planets just poof back into existence? It's such a stupid idea. But he's cool, so, you know.
He's got one wing.
Yeah. I mean, like, people talk about, like, how he could summon the meteor. Yeah, so could half the mages from the previous games.
Yeah, Meteo.
Well, that's because they didn't have enough space for the word meteor.
Well, yeah, but Meteo.
Number 6 is Dante from Devil May Cry.
More powerful than these past people?
He's pretty powerful, but I don't know if he'd be more powerful than Sephiroth.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, Sephiroth would just go into his long animation that can't kill you, and Dante would just be, like, shooting him in the face, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Number 5 is Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, he's fast.
Yeah, so is the Flash.
He could turn into a yellow version of himself. He goes Super Saiyan.
But that's thanks to the Chaos.
Yeah, he goes Super Saiyan. I don't know, man. Sonic's weird.
Yeah, but he's not that powerful. He can drown.
That's true. Well, I'm sure most of these characters can drown.
Well, you pick the right game, Mario can last forever.
Yeah, it depends on which game you're playing, right? It's like, 'cause sometimes he's in space, but sometimes he can drown.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? In Super Paper Mario, or no, was it Super Paper? No, it was Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Or was it? No, I'm sorry, it was Super Paper Mario. There's a part where you got to go into space, and the game tells you to put your helmet on, and if you say no, it tells you no, you really want to put your helmet on. And if you could have to say no like 5 times in a row, and the game's like, okay, we warned you, and then it just shows Mario going to space and he immediately dies.
Huh.
And then there's Galaxy where he's running around punching planets, so who knows what the fuck, right? Okay, number 4 is Superman. I know that's like not really a video game character, but they're talking about Injustice.
Superman.
Well, here's the thing. Superman from Injustice is obviously very powerful because, duh, he's Superman. But he still gets beaten at the end. I mean,
yeah, because everybody juices up.
Okay, they do have to bring in another Superman to beat him. But in Injustice 2, you're playing as Batman at the end. Unless you picked a different thing and then Batman's the last boss.
So, wait, who's the other Superman?
It's like from an other universe kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Because that's kind of like the whole plot of Injustice is that, like, they're trying to stop, like, the Joker from, like, blowing up Metropolis, and then they wind up getting sucked into this other world where he's already blown up Metropolis.
Yeah, didn't Superman kill the Joker?
Yeah, Superman killed the Joker, and he became a villain and took over the whole world.
Yeah, he could do that pretty easily.
Number 3 is Goku. Once again, not really a video game character, but he has been in video games.
Yeah, I mean...
I can't get behind putting Goku above Superman because it's fucking stupid.
Well, they've had rap battles, they've had death battles.
Okay, well, Goku may have won the rap battle. But Superman won both death battles.
Both?
They did a rematch.
Oh, I never saw the rematch.
And
Why?
Superman still won. Because they got all these angry comments from people about, you didn't take this into account, you didn't take that into account. And they're like, okay, we'll do that, but then there's a lot of Superman shit we didn't use too, so...
Yeah.
You know. Number 2 is Kratos.
He kills gods.
Could he kill Superman? That would be an interesting thing. I think he could. Because Superman is, like, normally affected by magic, and Kratos has got, like, magic weapons out the wazoo, right?
Yeah, but I'd like to picture that Kratos is just like, we're doing this mano-y-mano, just like rips Superman's arms off or something.
He ripped Helios's head off.
Yeah, that's pretty ballsy.
I mean, that was crazy. Number 1 is, I should have, this makes perfect sense. It's Kirby.
There you go.
Any of these guys come at Kirby, he just swallows them, and then he has their power.
Your soul is mine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Kirby is just like, can you really even hurt him? He's like fucking made out of Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, well, he does have a life bar.
In some games, he has a life bar.
Yeah, well, I guess there is Epic Yarn.
Epic Yarn, he didn't have a life bar. He would just lose some of his fucking beads if he got hit.
Mm-hmm.
And that depends on how much you care about the beads.
Hope they're not anal beads.
Oh, I hope not. Does Kirby even have an anus?
Where does the food go?
Good question. Out of 25, it was a hot mess.
Yeah.
But that's what we expected, right?
I was entertained. I give it 20.
Yeah, I would give it 20 as well. It led to some interesting discussions, at least, right?
That's what I like.
I mean, we get to talk about all these mostly very cool characters.
Yeah. And Shadow.
That's why I said mostly. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like I said, Shadow the Hedgehog is a really cool character if you're an 11-year-old boy.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that you can tell people are like, look at how cool he is.
He's like Sonic,
right?
But he's black,
right?
And he skates, and he's a badass.
You're supposed to like him because he's cool. Like, all right.
Okay, I got a list from Cracked here. This is 27 celebrity facts we all forgot about until after they died.
Okay.
So basically, it's interesting facts about dead celebrities.
Okay. I'll bite.
So we're starting out with number 27 is David Bowie. David Bowie was not only an accomplished musician and actor, he was also a talented painter. He held several art exhibitions, but he allegedly despised the business side of art.
Well, if you're gonna make, art, you're gonna make a display, an exhibition or whatever. You got to expect people are gonna be like, how much?
No, I mean, I think he's saying that he just hated the machine of it, the bureaucracy of it, and I can understand that.
Oh, yeah.
Number 26, we're going to Joan Rivers here. Joan Rivers supported God's Love We Deliver for decades. The charity delivers over 4,000 meals a day to housebound sick people and their families.
Oh, I didn't know that. It's really
funny
nice.
because her whole persona was so mean. And then she was so involved in charity. I mean, she was a comedian, so you can't take everything she says seriously,
She took the piss out of everything, man.
Oh, she didn't give a fuck.
Especially herself.
Oh, yeah. I remember hearing, from her funeral, Howard Stern did her eulogy. Yeah. And he said that whenever Joan Rivers came on his show, she would always complain about how dry her vagina was.
Of course.
And he's like, I don't know if there's an afterlife. I don't know where she is, but I hope her vagina is very moist. Right? And everybody's laughing. And you wouldn't think that you'd want to laugh at a funeral, but if you're going to a comedian's funeral, I mean, you should, right? Because it's supposed to be a celebration of their life, right?
That'd be a high honor.
Okay, Robin Williams for number 25. Robin Williams was an avid gamer who enjoyed playing World of Warcraft, Portal, Half-Life 2, and Call of Duty. He named his daughter after Princess Zelda. You may have played an online match against Williams without realizing it. He happily admitted to trash-talking teenagers on Counter-Strike.
Wouldn't that have been the greatest thing?
Now imagine if he's not only doing that, but he's doing like the genie from Aladdin.
Yeah.
And yeah, Zelda Williams is literally named after Zelda from Legend of Zelda.
Oh, when I found out that nugget of awesomeness, I was like...
Did you ever see the Nintendo commercials that him and his daughter were in?
Yeah, I think it was for Ocarina of Time 3D.
They did that, and they also did some things just for the 3DS in general.
Oh, yeah.
Hilarious. She's a very beautiful woman, too.
Yeah. Way to go.
Number 24, Gene Wilder was known for his acting roles, but also wrote novels in the final decades of his life. They're thankfully been getting more attention since his death.
Oh, I didn't know he was an author.
Okay, now, apparently not only was he an author, but he wrote trashy romance novels.
Oh, really? Those Harlequin romance?
That kind of thing. Well, the 4 books that they have pictures of here, one is called What Is This Thing Called Love? Another is Something to Remember You by The Woman Who Wouldn't, and then my personal favorite, My French Whore, A Love Story.
That's more up his alley.
And to think that Gene Wilder was writing those, that's hilarious. Number 23, this is for Stanley Kubrick. In 2013, Letters of Note published some correspondence between Stanley Kubrick and IBM. Apparently, he had been worried that the portrayal of Hal in 2001: A Space Odyssey might somehow offend the company.
How?
I don't know.
Maybe because, IBM does not...
Maybe because it's a computer that goes insane, and at the time that that was released, IBM are pretty much synonymous with computers.
Yeah, but it's not like IBM had a highly advanced AI or anything.
I know, but that's just he was a weird guy. What can I say?
He was a weird guy.
Number 22, this is for Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger was a great actor. Also, he had a deep passion for chess and was an accomplished player.
Ooh, I wonder if he ever played 3D chess.
Can you imagine if you're playing chess with Heath Ledger and he just starts like doing the Joker just to unnerve you?
Yeah, or what was that? That's the Knight movie that he was in.
Got A Knight's Tale?
A Knight's Tale.
It was so bad.
Bring out a couple of juicy lines from that piece of work.
Okay, number 21. Actor Miguel Ferrer was also a drummer who played with Bing Crosby, Keith Moon, and Seduction of the Innocent, a band composed of actors, writers, and comic book artists who perform primarily at comic conventions.
Holy shit, what?
You never heard of Seduction of the Innocent?
No.
Dude, their guitarist is Stephen King.
What?
It's hilarious. Yeah.
Are they good?
Well, they play covers, so they play the covers competently enough.
That's weird. That would be a weird thing to see.
It is weird. Trust me, it's weird. Number 20, this is for Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury was a great lover of cats. In his house in London, he kept up to 10 of them. His debut solo album, Mr. Bad Guy, is dedicated to his cats, and Delilah from his last Queen album is written for one of his favorite cats. It's actually not a surprise, since he would normally wear a t-shirt with kittens on it.
Oh.
Like, I've seen that many times. You see this picture, there's this bizarre shirt that he would wear that has, like, cats all over it.
Well, that's awesome, because cats are my favorite animal. Way to go, Freddie!
Number 19. The author of Jaws was a respected marine conservationist. Peter Benchley dedicated many years of his life to educating the public about the dangers to sharks and sea life, especially after the increasingly vilification of sharks that followed his novel and its film adaptation.
And the increased popularity of shark fin soup.
Well, I don't think that was his fault, but the rest of that, yeah.
No, I'm not saying it was his fault. I'm saying that's just a contributor.
Number 18, this is for Roger Ebert. His name was Roger Ebert, and he was an alcoholic. He became sober in 1979 thanks to AA.
I did not know that.
I just can't see Roger Ebert swilling down the booze.
Well,
it's amazing.
Neither could he. That's why he stopped.
Well, he was a strange guy, too. So.
Well, he did Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
Yeah. I mean, he dated Oprah at some point.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, wow, that's wild.
Like really early on, like before she was really that famous.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Before Stedman famous.
Yeah, well, definitely. Number 17, this is for Robert Reed. His Brady Bunch family knew it, but the public was floored to learn upon his death that Robert Reed was gay and HIV positive.
Get out of town, really?
His dad from the Brady Bunch was gay. I'm so unsurprised by that.
Well, really? I don't know.
He had no chemistry with his on-screen wife.
I guess they were more like besties.
Yeah, kinda. Number 16, Steve Jobs practiced Zen Buddhism during his time in India. It resonated with him so much he almost moved to Japan to keep practicing.
I am not shocked by this whatsoever.
He's a strange guy, too.
Yeah.
People said that Steve Jobs also smelled terrible.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Apparently, he didn't believe in any kind of deodorant or...
You can shower.
Yeah. Well, he did, but if you don't put on deodorant, and after a couple hours, and apparently he had a strange diet too, and that contributed to it.
Oh, okay. It goes through your pores.
Yeah. Number 15, Leonard Nimoy once released an erotic photography book featuring plus-sized women called The Full Body Project as a response to the pressure women face to conform to a size 2.
I don't mind a full body size woman. I mean,
Nimoy, you dog.
Where can I find
He's got
this?
bitches and they are thick.
Yeah.
I mean, Nimoy also wrote and performed a song about Bilbo Baggins. He was another strange guy, but I respected the hell out of him.
I've seen that music video several times.
Isn't it the goofiest fucking thing?
It's like I don't see this coming from him, but here it is.
There it is. It's obviously him. Remember that commercial he did with Zachary Quinto?
Which one?
It was a car commercial that he did, because Zachary Quinto plays Spock in the new movie.
Yeah.
It was like this car commercial, and the whole joke was that Zachary Quinto had like this awesome new car, and Nimoy had his rusted down shitbox kind of situation,
Right. Oh, I haven't seen it.
There's a point where the whole thing is they're supposed to be racing to this restaurant, and whoever gets there last has to buy or something like that. And there's this point where he's driving his car singing the Bilbo Baggins song.
No way.
And this is old Nimoy, so it's hilarious.
Well, at least he can, take a joke, make a joke.
He wrote the song, I mean. This is about, number 14, this is about Phil Hartman. Comedian Phil Hartman had a degree in graphic design and designed over 40 album covers.
Get up, what?
That one blows my mind. I had no idea.
Holy hell. Is there anything you can't do?
Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such album covers.
Does it say any of the album covers you did?
There's a bunch of them in the background. The only one from a band whose name I remember. You know that band America?
Yeah.
He did their greatest hits, apparently, album cover.
I can't really picture it, but I know the band.
They should call it Horse with No Name and a bunch of songs you haven't heard of.
Yeah.
Number 13, this is for Rod Serling. Rod Serling, creator of The Twilight Zone, was a paratrooper and demolition specialist during World War II, where he earned a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star. After the war, Serling took a job testing equipment for the U.S. Air Force, like a fighter jet ejection seat that had previously killed 3 people. How many balls did this guy have? Like a half a dozen?
Imagine
he must have had half a dozen balls and like 2 cocks.
2 cocks. So he's
2 cocks and half a dozen balls. Number 12. This is for Bill Paxton. Bill Paxton had a musical side. In the late 80s, Bill Paxton and his friend Andrew Todd Rosenthal formed a new wave band called Martini Ranch. The music video of their single Reach was directed by James Cameron.
What the fuck?
That must be... Well, he was in a lot of James Cameron's movies, so that must explain how they knew each other.
Yeah, that's just a whole ball of weird, though.
Wow. Because there wasn't a whole lot of Cameron movies that he wasn't in,
Yeah, if you think about it.
He wasn't in Terminator, that's about it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Number 11. This is for Mr. Rogers.
Oh.
Mr. Rogers was red-green colorblind. He would have been unable to see the red of his iconic red sweater, which was knitted by his mother.
Wow, I didn't know that. They have glasses to fix that now.
Well, they didn't back then, obviously.
Well, no.
Number 10, this is for Bea Arthur. Golden Girls star Bea Arthur was a strong advocate of homeless LGBT youth. She willed $300,000 to New York's Ali Forney Center, which is using the money to fund a long-term shelter in her name.
Bea Arthur. Outstanding.
Yeah. This one's for Gary Shandling. Number 9. Gary Shandling studied Buddhism and helped found a monastery. He personally introduced the renowned monk Thich Nhat Hanh at a speaking event at the Library of Congress.
The things that you discover about these people,
yeah,
man.
Well, that's the whole idea. We didn't know about it until, after somebody dies, you tend to look back at their whole life, and then you find out things.
When you look past the celebrity of them.
Yeah, exactly. Number 8, prolific character actor Harry Dean Stanton was first and foremost a singer. As well as singing in numerous movies and TV shows, he performed with Bob Dylan, Chris Christopherson, Leon Russell, Ry Cooder, and many others, and he had his own band. He released his first and only solo album, Partly Fiction, in 2014 when he was 88 years old.
Holy, he waited a while.
Well, better late than never, right?
Yeah, I guess.
They couldn't have picked a worse picture of him for this, by the way.
Oh.
He looks like a skeleton. It's terrible.
Well, lose weight.
Vidal Sassoon, a famous hairdresser, used to be a member of the 43 Group, an anti-fascist group dedicated to fighting fascist groups in London. Punching Nazis was part of his MO.
Whoa!
That's crazy. And then he did people's hair. Punch a Nazi in the morning, do somebody's hair. Punch a Nazi after lunch, paint somebody's nails, Why not?
Man. Incredible.
Number 6, this is for Patrick Swayze. Patrick Swayze wanted to pursue a career in ballet. That's how he met his future wife during dance lessons, making their love story eerily similar to the plot of Dirty Dancing.
He had the time of his life.
He was such a creep in that movie, too. I don't know why she fell for him.
Well, nobody but Baby in the corner.
Number 5. Hugh Hefner was a civil rights supporter before it was popular. Playboy gave a platform to many civil rights leaders like Muhammad Ali, Martin Luther King Jr., and Malcolm X. Hefner also gave $25,000 to help solve a case of 3 civil rights workers that were killed in Mississippi in 1964.
Wow, so he wasn't just about naked ladies.
No, see, now I knew about this stuff. I knew a lot about him, actually. And I remember when he died, there were a lot of people on Facebook, the porn guy died. And I'm like, he was into a lot more than porn. All right, number 4. George Michael's philanthropic contributions were generous and personal. He was involved in a wide variety of organizations, including famine relief, AIDS, and a children's charity. At one point, he even worked anonymously at a homeless shelter.
I think I knew about the anonymous thing.
That's wacky. Imagine if, you're there to, I don't know, to help out or something, and you're next to the guy from Wham ladling out soup. That's fucking nutty.
Yeah, you look over at him like, I don't know how much longer I can keep this up, man. And he's like, you gotta have faith.
How most of these are so positive. I mean, a few of them are a little sad. Like, I didn't know that Roger Ebert was an alcoholic, but I'm not hearing anything too crazy. Like, imagine like somebody tortured kittens or something. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. Okay, I actually knew about this next one. It's number 3. It's about George A. Romero, the father of zombie flicks, actually got his first directing gig from Mr. Rogers.
For real?
The episode Mr. Rogers Gets a Tonsillectomy was directed by George A. Romero. Not only that, this doesn't go into it, but they were like roommates in college or something. That's how they knew each other.
Oh my god. My dad in university was roommates with Michael Ironside.
There you go. That's a cool one. Yeah, and apparently when Night of the Living Dead came out, which was George's big break, his first big movie, Mr. Rogers went to see it and actually gave it a very positive review.
That'd be a little surreal. With Mr. Rogers going to see Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, it's his friend's movie. He said it was a lot of fun. All right, number 2. I actually knew this next one too. John Lennon was dyslexic.
Oh, I probably heard that and just put it out of my mind.
He wrote a book, and he didn't have an editor. And although a lot of people enjoyed the book, a lot of people called him out for the just ridiculous amount of spelling errors in the book. And apparently he was just like, oh, what does it matter how the words are spelled, kind of thing. That was his reaction to it. But
well, it does kind of
he
matter.
was dyslexic. That's why he couldn't spell. And number 1, the master of horror, Wes Craven, graduated from Johns Hopkins University with a master's degree in philosophy and writing and worked as an English professor before becoming a filmmaker.
Boy, what a shift in career.
Can you imagine, I had Wes Craven as teacher. What was he like? Boring as fuck.
Yeah. Teaching us boring statistics or something.
Well, English, but, it's just, that's funny.
Yeah.
All right, out of 27, what do you say?
Most like a lot of these. Yeah, 25.
I'm gonna say I was gonna say 25, but actually bump it up to 26 because there was one of these that blew my mind.
Yeah.
Do you remember which one it was?
I can't remember.
Fucking Phil Hartman.
Oh yeah, that is crazy.
Album covers. I gotta look it up and find out if I've actually seen or perhaps even owned any of these albums.
Phil Hartman, the album cover collection.
I want to get a list. I just found a list. Album covers designed by Phil Hartman. I want to know if I've seen or maybe even owned any of these.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Or if there's any big famous ones.
Okay, Poco, America, Fire Sign Theater, America really liked
My dad loved Fire Sign Theater.
Well, if he has the record Fighting Clowns with the clown soldier on the cover, that's Phil Hartman did that. Poco, Steely Dan's Aja. Wow. Oh, is that it? I thought there was over 40. This is a very short list I'm looking at. Oh, well, this is... He did Crosby, Stills, and Nash? Wow. That blows my mind. And then he was like Phil Hartman from News Radio and Saturday Night Live and The Simpsons. Blows my mind.
You just seem like a good guy.
Okay, so I have another one from Cracked. It's 5 good ideas that flew off the rails hilariously.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so number 5. Apple spent $5 billion on a glass office building that people kept running into.
What? Why?
Regardless of what you think of Apple products, their headquarters seems like a cool place to work. The major theme of the building is glass, both to foster an open, collaborative work environment as well as to capture that elusive sci-fi dystopia where all appears well on the surface, but just beneath lies a terrible secret waiting to be discovered vibe. The design is undeniably striking architectural accomplishment, and for a while the striking part was literal because people kept walking into the damn walls. Not long after the office opened, 3 911 calls were made from Apple Park within a span of 48 hours, all of them because someone had cut their head walking into a wall.
Ow.
That's just amazing.
This seems like an ill-advised building.
Yeah. So they began marking the walls with Post-it notes for their own safety, but were told to remove them because they detracted from the building's design. Apple then solved the problem by putting stickers on the glass panes.
So then it just renders the aesthetic useless.
Yeah. Well, maybe the stickers were a little more stylish. Maybe they were Apple stickers.
There you go.
They weren't just random Post-its. Number 4, a Dutch highway sang the national anthem, driving locals crazy.
Oh, is that when you drive over certain little bumpies and they make a tune?
Yeah. It's called the Singing Road. Whenever a car drives over it at a certain speed, it plays their national anthem. Of course, if you live by there, it ain't fun.
Because that's all you hear.
The whole fucking day, yeah. Number 3, the white-tailed eagle was brought back from the brink of extinction and is now on a reign of terror.
Oh, no.
So, in one incident, an eagle killed a prize-winning goose along with several of the goose's less lauded companions. It attacked and wounded the owner when he tried to intervene. They prey on lambs, so local shepherds are using laser pointers to disorient the birds. This is the era of the laser shepherd. All shall behold. Number 2, a town started a legal battle over a train which transported human feces, leaving the train stuck in another town.
What?
The Poo-Choo train. I gotta read this one.
No.
You probably don't give a lot of thought to your feces once you're done with them, and if you do, you probably have some bookmarks that we don't want to know about. So, a brief primer. Sometimes human waste is transported across the country to be stored in the landfill or used to treat soil acidity. That's because places like New York City don't have much space for all their shit, metaphorical as well as physical, and dumping it all into the ocean went out of style once we learned what an environment was. So New York regularly sends millions of pounds of human waste by train to Alabama for safe disposal, or what the hobos call the brown eye. Well, they should, anyway. To be clear, biosolids aren't loose turds. They're what is left over after sewage treatment. They look like any other form of fertilizer, but they still reek. That's a fact of life. So Jefferson County, Alabama started a legal battle to prevent the Midnight Soil Express from stopping in the town of West Jefferson to transfer its noxious cargo to trucks. They cited local zoning laws meant to stop foul odors and argued that the overpowering reek and hordes of flies were ruining property values. You really don't want to live in a place that's like a literal Schitt's Creek, right?
Literally.
I can relate. It was a reasonable complaint that needed addressing, but while it was being sorted out, the train's 56 cars and 10 million pounds of waste were stuck in Parrish, Alabama for 2 months.
Whoa!
That's amazing. All right, number 1, an old herbicide made pants explode. Pants explode.
Oh,
I assumed it was going to be plants because it's an herbicide. How does it make pants explode? This I got to know. So let's see, back in the 30s, New Zealand was dealing with a ragwort infestation. Ragwort is a weed that's poisonous to horses and cows, and while farmers were using the tougher stomachs of sheep and goats to devour as much as they can handle, the weed kept spreading like a low-key biblical plague, so they brought in sodium chlorate to use as an herbicide. Luckily, sodium chlorate killed ragwort dead. Farmers mixed it with water, sprayed the affected fields, and presumably laughed themselves to sleep with unabashed hubris. Then their pants started catching fire because, fun science fact, sodium chlorate is extremely flammable when dry, so once any clothing that had gotten wet during the spraying process dried out, well, let's just say it was a very unfortunate time to be a liar.
Pants on fire.
Yeah. One farmer put his pants in front of a fire to dry, whereupon they abruptly went into flames with a loud bang. Another's pants reportedly started smoldering while he was riding his horse, which is no doubt unpleasant for both of them, and several others either suffered serious burns or flat out died because they were wearing the pants when they spontaneously combusted. The problem was soon identified and therefore easily fixed, but imagine going out to destroy an all-consuming plant only to catch fire for no apparent reason hours later. Your first suspicion would have to be a vengeful god, right?
Yeah, or just science, bitch.
Science, bitch. All right, that was worth reading for the Exploding Pants.
Sisterhood of the Exploding Pants. Show us that movie.
That's got to be the sequel right there, Sisterhood of the Exploding Pants.
Yes.
Get on that. Who's going to make that movie? Uwe Ball, get on it.
Yeah, play it up like some Postal kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly, that would be hilarious. All right, out of 5, I'll say 5 out of 5. That was dope.
That was interesting. Yes, 5 out of 5.
Okay, so I got kind of a funny list here. It's from Yes Please.
Okay.
Yes Please. It's a list of things that you should know before turning 35, according to the funniest people on Twitter.
Oh, too late.
So a couple of months ago, there was this sort of meme going around where, it started with people saying by age 35 you should have X amount saved up and this and that, and people started making fun of it, and this is the result of that. So let's see. They are numbered. There's 24 of these. So here's number 24. By age 35, you should have at least one fork in your cutlery drawer that you just don't like and actively frown at if you accidentally grab it.
Yeah.
It sounds accurate, right? Like, what the...
It's a small one.
Or one of those weird ones that only have 3 tines on it.
Because one of them is missing and you just won't give it up?
No, it's designed like that. And you're like, why is that a thing?
Why is this?
Number 23, by age 35, you should have developed chronic neck pain while attempting to suck your own dick. What the fuck?
Balls resting on his lips.
I will admit, I only had read the first one, so I didn't know that it was going to go there. Wow. Number 22. Holy shit. By age 35, you should have a huge box of cables that you can't throw them out because you're pretty sure you still need a couple of them, but you're not sure which ones.
I'm looking at the drawer right now that is full of cables.
I have that box, and it is downstairs.
Yep.
Number 21, by age 35, you should have a kitchen cabinet dedicated entirely to plastic bags that contain other smaller plastic bags.
Yeah?
Yeah, we don't have that, I mean...
Mine's like more of a wicker basket kind of thing, but yeah.
It's there, though. It exists. It may not be a kitchen cabinet, but there's a designated spot.
In the kitchen, yes.
Number 20, by age 35, you should run into friends and say, we should hang out twice a week. You will never hang out. You'll just scream this at each other until one of you dies.
Oh my god, they're crawling inside my head.
Number 19. By age 35, you should have figured out how to spell bananas without having to mentally sing Hollaback Girl.
I never did.
It's funny, though.
B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
Number 18, by age 35, you should have a junk drawer filled with USB flash drives you're reluctant to throw out because you don't know what's on them, but are reluctant to plug it in because you don't know what's on them.
Yeah, I see what they're going for, but I only have 2, and I know what's on.
It's not supposed to, even though some of these are accurate, it's not supposed to be accurate. It's supposed to be funny. Like, I mean, I'm sure you don't have chronic neck pain from trying to go down on yourself.
I could never reach.
Well, I mean, come on. I've never tried to. I don't want to suck anybody's dick, even my own.
Yeah, he really made it all the way, didn't he? Balls resting on his lips.
Number 17. By age 35, you should be able to rewatch Bridget Jones and think, you're only 30 and you managed to afford to live alone?
Yeah, that's impressive.
Number 16. By age 35, you should have approximately 10 times the existential dread you had when you graduated high school.
That's about accurate, actually.
Number 15. By age 35, you should be haunting a lighthouse.
What? Wait, what?
Want to be in an episode of Scooby-Doo, I mean.
Well, I would have gotten away with it, too, if it wasn't for those meddling kids.
Number 14. By age 35, you should stop paying attention to condescending life advice from strangers writing think pieces.
That's meta.
If only. Number 13. By age 35, you should have at least 10 framed pictures of Jeff Goldblum in your home.
I don't have any, and why don't I?
I feel like I should.
Yeah, now.
It's Jeff Goldblum. Why wouldn't I? That's a good point.
And then there's like a little button that you press on it, and it goes, life, finds a way.
Life finds a way. Number 12. By the way, remember the steamed hams meme that was like the rage a few months ago?
Oh, do I?
It pretty much officially, because that was going on for a long time, it pretty much officially ended when they did Jeff Goldblum reading steamed hams. That was amazing.
I never saw that.
I'll have to link you to it after this. He was doing an interview for Jurassic World, and they just handed it, like, would you read this? And he's like, sure, I'll do this. And he did the whole thing. He was Skinner. And even at the end, he said, that was fun. The writing was really good. What is that? And they said, oh, it's an old Simpsons gang. And he's like, that's really cool. But it was amazing. And then, of course, somebody put, like, the episode to his voice. It was amazing.
Of course.
Number 12. And he's never seen it, so that made it even better. Number 12. By age 35, you should have one pair of jeans you like and a 4-shirt rotation.
Oh, this is getting scary.
Oh, it's funny as fuck. Number 11. By age 35, you should have a shelf full of books you can't read because they're not ebooks, but can't throw away either because you intend to read them.
Oh, it's like a vicious cycle of do I, don't I?
Or mostly don't.
Yeah.
Number 10, by age 35, you should have HPV.
Uh-oh.
Oh, tell me more about that Brandy Jensen. Jesus.
What? Who's that?
That's the person who tweeted that.
Oh.
Number 9, by age 35, you should have at least 2/3 of your hard drive space taken up by recursively nested copies of the hard drives from all your previous computers. Yeah.
Kind of.
Well, you're a Mac-tard, so you can't exactly just swap hard drives.
No.
Number 8, by age 35, you should have destroyed 2 Death Stars and redeemed the most feared villain in the galaxy.
Oh, okay, I see what they're going for now.
Yeah, Luke Skywalker did that.
Yeah. Well,
he didn't destroy the second Death Star.
That was Lando.
Yeah, Lando did that. He was on the shit.
Give him
He
props.
barely escaped. Number 7, by age 35, you should have realized no mail you open up will ever be good news anymore. That's about right.
Unless it's a package.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. Because but that's not really mail. That's a parcel. It's a different animal, I think.
Well, okay.
Number 6, by age 35, you will have spent so many years in therapy that your response to being blamed for your own poverty by the generation who engineered it is to make surrealist memes on the internet. Yes.
Shit.
That ain't even funny. That's fucking true.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. Number 5, by age 35, you should have at least 150 tabs open with articles you're going to read, you swear, but you just don't have time right now, and you'll get to it as soon as...
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't even want to say how many tabs I got open right now. It's a ridiculous... I got 4 browsers open. And each of them have multiple tabs.
I have 0.
Oh. Number 4, by age 35, you should have tried in vain to delete your old LiveJournal, but forgotten how many X's are in the password.
X's and zeros and underscores.
Wait, I gotta tell you guys something. I recently used LiveJournal. I had to log in and everything.
Why?
Because I was pranking AJ.
Oh.
So, me and AJ were like, just chilling out, watching The Simpsons shit. He goes to bed, right? And then I was just like bored. I was talking with Hitomi, and I got the idea to just send him the phrase on Steam, pepperoni nipples.
Yep.
I was like, I just said that to him, and he's going to wake up and look at it and be like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And then I was thinking, like, but what if he doesn't see it? I better text it to him on Facebook. So then I go to Facebook, and I type in pepperoni nipples. And then I'm like, then I'm going to post it to his wall, too.
Oh, no.
Pepperoni. And then I was like, and now I'm going to get on Skype, and I'm going to send it to him. And then I sent it to him on Discord. I emailed it to him. I text messaged with the SMS. I did it. And then I was like, and me and Hitomi are sitting there giggling like a bunch of idiots. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm going to find his old LiveJournal and leave a comment. I tweeted it at him. I did every bit of social media that you can think of that he has, and he has most of them. I did it. I went to his YouTube. I left it as a comment.
Oh my God.
I let's see. Just like looking at my phone, just the apps that I used for it. Let's see. Facebook, yes. Facebook Messenger, yes. YouTube, Twitter, Skype, Steam. What else? Discord. And then a whole bunch of them on my computer. And then I said, and I even went to LiveJournal. So then I was giggling. Then I forgot about it because I woke up and he doesn't get up till 2, So he gets up at 2:30 in the afternoon. I had completely forgotten about it. And then I get that message. What the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, oh my God, you have no idea how hard I'm laughing, not only because of how funny it is, but because I completely forgot about it. And he's like, you motherfucker, you even went to my old LiveJournal?
But wouldn't he have to know? Oh, wait, it would be emailed to him.
Yes. Oh, and I emailed it to him.
Yeah, well, yeah, you said that.
So hold on a second. Wait. Let me go to his live journal. Just to give you an example here. So anyway, I was like, he woke up to 15 different alerts on his phone, which all said pepperoni nipples. And by the way, the post that I posted, the comment on where I said pepperoni nipple, I had to remember I had to reset my password for LiveJournal. I didn't remember it. This post was from 2012.
Wow.
It's 6 years old. He was one of the last few holdouts, too, that still use LiveJournal. So, and the 3 other comments on it are all from May of 2012, and then there's mine, August 3rd, 2018, pepperoni nipples. I just wanted it. So yeah, that's my LiveJournal story.
It was a very good story.
I thought you'd like it. It was, like I said, it was at least 15. It might have been a little bit more, but I think it was 15, he said, messages on his phone that all said the same thing. Okay, so number 3, by age 35, you should have researched that stage of time confusion where you're convinced the 90s was only 10 years ago.
Yeah, I've had that before.
Like, what are you talking about? The Nintendo 64 is not that old. And then you're like, holy shit, it is.
It's like over 20 years old.
It's retro. Number 2. By age 35, you should be imprisoned in a crystal polyhedron and used by a villain as a source of magical power.
What is this for?
Sounds like Zelda to me.
Crystal polyhedron. Okay.
You know, like those crystals that, like Zelda and whatnot.
Zoraldo?
I didn't say Zoraldo. Don't fuck up. Don't fuck with me. Number 1. Listen, Meghan Markle wasn't a duchess till age 36, so stop telling me what I should have by age 35.
A duchess. Way to go.
Yeah, well, all she had to do was marry the right guy.
Yeah.
Oh, lucky her. She hit the jackpot. All right, out of, how many were there? I gotta go back because it was on 2 pages. Wouldn't it have been amazing if there was 35 of these?
24, wasn't there?
There was 24. There should have been 35, though. That would have been meta.
Yeah.
That would have been meta AF. I laughed at most of them.
Mm-hmm.
I was like 21.
I'm going to give it a 22.
22. You just had to one-up me there, didn't you? I don't even know what's wrong with me. I want to do like one more, and then we'll call it a day. Actually, you know what? Speaking of having so many tabs open, I should actually bring up Firefox on my phone, because I have tabs open that are lists. And there's like 90 tabs here. I should probably close some of them.
Sounds like a good start.
Yeah, it's a good thing this
is a
beefy phone. Or in this case,
good finish.
Let's see. No. We're not doing that. That's stupid. Why is that even there? Okay, we can close some of the Pornhub links. That don't need to be open. I'm finished with that. And regret. All right.
Hey, man, whatever you do in the privacy of your own area is whatever.
Area. Okay. No, that's too long. I don't want to do something like that. Maybe next time. That's also too long. Damn, some of these shits be long as fuck, dude. Okay. This might be a little depressing, but it might be interesting too. It's from Rate My Job, a site we've done many lists from. And it's people share the worst thing a teacher has ever said to them.
Ooh. I bet there'll be some zingers in here. I hope so.
Well, let's see how many of these are zingers and how many of those are, oh God, what is wrong with you? Here's the first one. I have a blood sugar condition called reactive hypoglycemia. It is easily managed with food. I had a doctor's note on file with a school nurse which allowed me to eat at specific times to regulate my sugar levels. My 5th grade teacher decided I didn't have a blood sugar condition. I was just dramatic. The one time I forgot my snack, I was 10 years old, and it was the first time in 4 years I'd forgotten it. She didn't let me call my mom to get food. I had the blood sugar meltdown. I warned her what happened, which at that age was just uncontrollable shaking and crying. She dragged me to the front of the class and demanded somebody else give me their food because even though it wasn't fair, I was a drama queen baby and they had to humor me. I ran out of the room crying harder. She caught me, dragged me into the special ed room, and left me there. Wow, that's just really wrong on so many levels.
It's all in your head. See where this gets you?
Well, in that case, it was in her blood.
Oh, yeah, but the teacher thought it was all...
No, I get it, yeah. All right. I was in the 3rd grade. I had wrongly been put into a slow reading group since 1st grade. I was in groups with kids that could barely read and causing trouble because I was bored. Finally, my mom went to my 3rd grade teacher and asked for me to be moved to a more advanced group so I would stop getting into trouble. My first day in the new group, this teacher announced to everybody that I was moving up from the slower group because my mom had raised a ruckus and that I'd better prove that I belonged in the advanced group.
Oh.
The teacher further singled me out by making me read aloud, but instead of just reading a paragraph or two like the other kids, she made me read the entire story aloud by myself. When I finished, I asked if she wanted me to read the next one of the class, too.
Oh, shit.
Snap. A little snapback on that one. I like it.
Good, because
what
that
it
sounds
did, right?
mean.
Yeah, it is mean. Well, that's the point. I once had a surveying instructor telling me that environmental engineering was a useless field and that the only career I could ever hope to get with a degree in it was installing septic tanks for a living. I came to learn from a friend of his at the State Department of Transportation office a few years later that this teacher taught not for fun, but because he was broke. He installed septic tanks for a living.
Oh, no.
Well, maybe he had a degree in that field and he was trying to warn them off of it.
It's a dead end, man.
Yeah, maybe he should have said, hey, look, you don't end up like me. The year I was in 3rd grade was one of the best and worst of my entire educational experience, and both of these extremes were because of the teacher I had. She was beloved by most of her students, the female ones especially, but had a habit of being passive-aggressive and saccharine towards more difficult pupils. She'd find or invent reasons to ignore difficult questions, offer vague threats about impending punishments, or make small efforts to turn classmates against one another. She was not an especially likable educator, and she became a truly reprehensible one when she insisted that Jupiter was larger than the sun. What the fuck? Wow, dude. At first, it seemed like a misunderstanding. Our class had just entered into an astronomy unit, and one of our activities was to construct a scale model of the solar system. The reference image we used came from a picture book, and in it the sun had been reduced in size. The teacher had not noticed this fact and was therefore operating under the mistaken assumption that Jupiter was our largest celestial neighbor. Well, I knew better, and I tried to correct her. She replied to me with the tone of aloof dismissal, stating quite clearly that I was wrong. "That's okay, though," she said. "After all, you're in school to learn new things." Then she smiled sweetly, and I returned... What is this, Dolores Umbridge?
Right?
Then she smiled sweetly, and I returned to my seat, feeling thoroughly confused and frustrated. Okay, I just got to say, if Jupiter was bigger than the sun, then we would probably orbit Jupiter.
Yeah, that's how this works.
Yeah. In the weeks that followed, I engaged in an all-out war against my teacher's pseudoscience. Well, good. My father, having heard everything from me, sent me to school with one of his college textbooks, hoping to turn the tide of the battle. My teacher refused to even look at it. "Class," she said, rolling her eyes, "who can tell Max what the biggest object in the solar system is?" My face was burning with anger and shame as every other student shouted, "Jupiter." Boy, she should go to Jupiter and get more stupider.
No.
Things only escalated from there. I refused to back down, despite having been labeled as the class dunce. Each time the topic came up, I tried to offer my evidence, and each time I was steadfastly opposed by everyone within earshot. Finally, after over a month of torment, our astronomy unit culminated in a field trip to the local planetarium. Oh, here comes the vindication.
The planetarium.
Oh yes, the planetarium. The show was a breathtaking adventure through our galaxy and the universe beyond, and it left me feeling infinitesimally small yet strangely empowered. As the lights came up, our guide to the cosmos asked if there were any questions. "Which is bigger?" I shouted, jumping to my feet. "Jupiter or the sun?" My entire class sighed in frustration. My teacher barked at me to sit down, and the astronomer looked thoroughly confused. "The sun, of course," he scoffed. A hush fell over the room. After a moment of utter silence, a girl named Melissa spoke up in a condescending tone. "Well, sir, we have a chart that says Jupiter is bigger." The astronomer looked at her. He looked at my teacher, and then he looked at me with an expression of sympathy. "Little girl," he said, returning his attention to Melissa, "if you look at the picture again, you'll see the sun is being shown at a fraction of its actual size, otherwise it wouldn't fit on the page." His gaze moved to his next victim, who had slumped down in her chair to be almost as small as her students. Your teacher should have told you that.
Oh!
Roasted. Upon returning to our classroom, all the students crowded around our reference book. Sure enough, a tiny block of text explained that the sun had been scaled down in the illustration. I declared my triumph, having been vindicated. Nobody apologized. My teacher found new reasons to punish me, and I was treated with no small amount of scorn, but I didn't care. From that day forward, I knew never to be afraid of asking questions nor of standing up for facts in favor of fiction.
He had one up there.
Good for Max. All right. Yeah. I'm in my late 20s, and the stuff my second grade teacher did and said to me still sticks with me. She was just an all-around evil lady, and even worse was that everyone else liked her, so my concerns fell on deaf ears. I was awkward and didn't have a lot of friends, which I guess she interpreted as a vulnerability. She would punish me for walking funny or for cheating in class games because some bullies told her I cheated without talking about it with me. Her scolding was always in front of everyone, and no one else was treated like me. There was another boy in my class with the same name, and she made the entire class call me either by my last initial or just number 2, while the other kid just went by our first name. The class did as she said. It didn't sound like much now, but at the time it had a negative effect on me and served to outcast me. She once embarrassed me by incorrectly spelling a word on the overhead that I spelled incorrectly on a spelling test in front of everybody and telling them that's how I spelled it on my test.
Oh, come on!
She also wouldn't let me use the restroom, and then once I was nearly in tears and got up to run to the restroom, I returned for her to sit me down and have a scolding about whining and inappropriate classroom behavior in front of the whole class. Again, she never had problems writing hall passes for other people. It was just me. That's just scratching the surface of that year. This woman still sticks with me.
It'd stick with me for the rest of my life. That is
well, it sounds
awful.
Like it will with that. Like, dude, do you want to get punched? Because that's how you get punched.
Yeah, that is... How are they still teachers?
Well, because everybody else likes her, so nobody...
How, though? She sounds like a terrible human being.
Because she's targeting this one kid. Not everybody else. Everybody else is just sugar and plums and fairies, you know. All right. In 6th grade, we had to write an essay, and though I can't remember what it exactly was about, it had something to do with anticipating something sweet happening. So in my essay, I described whatever it was as an unopened bag of M&Ms.
Something sweet happening.
That is literally and figuratively something sweet about to happen. Oh.
Yeah.
A few days later, as she was about to hand the graded papers back to us, she was going over some of them. She said, laughing, and somebody compared it to an unopened bag of M&Ms. I mean, seriously, whoever heard of something ridiculous like that? How would you know what an unopened bag of M&Ms is like? The whole class laughed. What?
Wait, what? That doesn't make sense.
Is she stupid?
An unopened bag of M&Ms is just that.
It's anticipation.
Yeah.
I was sitting right there.
I can't wait to get into it, you know?
I got a story for you right after this. I was sitting there embarrassed, even though nobody knew she was talking about my paper. This happened over 20 years ago, and it still makes me upset. All right, so this is actually in college. I had this one teacher, Mr. Opalicki. He was derptastic. Just a really derpy dude.
The derpy hooves of teachers.
Oh, yeah. Imagine an English teacher that wants you to tone down the writing.
Tone down the writing?
Yeah. Like, he didn't understand metaphors, so he didn't want me to use them.
So he's more of a idiot.
Yeah, exactly. So I countered that by writing the most pretentious thing that I can think of. Like, it was metaphors on top of similes, on top of oxymoron. It was every literary device that I knew.
Beautiful.
And it was actually really well written, but it was also just ridiculously over the top, you know?
Meant to be.
So then he's reading sections of people's essays randomly. And asking questions and stuff like that. And everybody's writing at a pretty normal level, and I'm writing 10 levels above just to spite him.
Right.
So he gets to mine, and he starts reading it, and first of all, everybody's just kind of thrown by the words I'm using because, like I said, I went overboard.
You went ham on it.
Oh, yeah. And everybody's, like, super impressed, and I'm not saying anything because I didn't do this for attention. I did it to annoy him. You know what I mean? So then he asks about a certain passage in it. I don't remember what it was. I don't even remember what the essay was, to be honest with you. All I remember was that I wrote it really ostentatiously. And he asks, what does it mean? And some girl answers, and she says, I think it's sarcastic. And he says, well, why do you think that? And she explained beautifully exactly what I meant. She got it perfectly.
Cool.
And he's like, I don't really think it's supposed to be sarcastic. And I'm just like, oh, don't do this, you know? So I spoke up, I raised my hand, I said, I think it is sarcastic. And I think that he would make he would make the connection that my name's on the paper, I'm telling him what it means.
Yeah.
All right? And he actually had the gall to look me in the eye and say, and what makes you think that?
I wrote the fucker.
My exact words were, I wrote it, you idiot.
Nice.
And he was completely shut down. Everybody fucking laughed. I had like 6 or 7 people congratulate me on, on the writing and whatnot. And I even told them I only did it to piss him off because he hates metaphors and he hates any literary device that he doesn't understand. You'd think a college English professor would understand simple metaphors.
I think this moment was an excusable time you could call your professor an idiot.
I mean, come on. I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't call him. I wouldn't call him an idiot for not understanding it because it wasn't easy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he looked at me in the eye and asked me what makes me think that I know what I'm talking about, and he's holding the fucking thing in his hands. He knows my handwriting. My name's at the fucking top of it.
Yeah, that's an idiotic move.
It's like, did he think that I was gonna like say something else? Like, come on! I wrote it, you idiot. Oh, greatest moment ever. It was all downhill from there. All right, I misunderstood some instructions from my PE teacher in the 7th grade. He explained the day before that we would ignore the board while activities were posted and instead meet in the classroom. I didn't realize this meant do not dress in your PE clothes beforehand. So I changed into my clothes 5 minutes and went into the classroom to see everyone in normal clothes. My teacher said, wow, I said go straight to the classroom. I guess this says everything we need to know about you.
Oh.
I never have nor never will forget this. I felt like absolute crap and it cut me. Still motivates me to keep going despite others wanting to hold me back. You know how they say those who can do and those who can't teach?
Yeah.
Those who can't teach Jim.
Teach Jim.
Yeah. All right. This is what the teacher said to my class. You are the most incompetent students I have ever taught, and you do not deserve to be called engineers. It is false advertising to call you engineers. You're like orange juice that's been diluted with a bunch of water and put inside cartons that say 100% orange juice.
Whoa!
That's actually pretty witty. This was after a bunch of students in my class were caught having copied an assignment off each other. Okay, well, that's kind of, justified then.
Yeah. I don't like your jerk-off face. I don't like your jerk-off name. I don't like you, jerk-off.
He was irritated that not only was it obviously copied and shared, but it was the wrong answer. They were too stupid to even copy the right answer, he said. Well, that's justified then.
Yeah.
Actually, I got another story for you. This was in high school. I had this teacher, Mr. Lee. God, I hated this motherfucker. He thought he was the coolest motherfucker in the world, right?
Coolest guy in school.
He thought he was so cool. Okay, so he vaguely resembled Jimi Hendrix.
Oh.
So he clearly thought that meant he was as cool as Jimi Hendrix.
Oh.
He was not. This patchouli-smelling motherfucker was nowhere near Jimi Hendrix in levels of coolness.
Oh.
So anyway, his favorite thing was to berate the entire class for doing badly on a test. And so he starts this bullshit. I'm kind of ignoring it because I did all right. I got like a B.
Yeah.
So I got I think it was 83, so
that's okay.
It's fine. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So anyway, most people apparently failed. He's berating the class. He's got this paper he's waving around that says Elaine Lee on it and a big 53 at the top, right? Saying that this is the paper of Elaine Lee. Elaine Lee is not in this class. Elaine Lee is my daughter. She's 9 years old. I was grading the test and she asked to take it. And I'm like, that doesn't sound right, but okay, Yeah. She did not do very well because she's 9 years old and not in this class, but she did better than a lot of you. And I'm sitting there thinking I really don't need to be hearing this. I passed, you know what I mean? Turns out he doesn't have a daughter.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he's full of shit.
Oh, so he's just an asshole.
Yeah. So the next year when I was a senior, I had this other teacher, Mr. Stromboli. No kidding, that was his real name.
The dude from Pinocchio.
No, that would be Geppetto.
No, the guy that puts Pinocchio in the show. Yeah, Mr. Stromboli.
Oh, maybe Stromboli is also like a food.
I know.
Yeah. So anyway, that was his name, Mr. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. It was Strapoli. I just called him Mr. Stromboli.
Aww.
So anyway, no, he was a nice guy, though. He thought it was funny. He was Italian, I mean. So anyway, nice guy. Found out he was friends with Mr. Lee, and I literally said, "You're friends with that asshole?" And he's like, "Why do you think he's an asshole?" And I'm like, "Because he's a fucking douchebag." And I told him that story, and I'm like, I don't care how many people fell. That's just, that's bullshit. You don't do that shit. And he's just confused, and he's like, he doesn't have any kids. And I'm like, are you sure? Because he talks about his wife and his kids all the time. He's like, he's not married.
So he's a liar.
Mr. Lee was gay. He was definitely not married with kids.
Well,
the more you know.
I guess back then.
Yeah, back then. I mean, I know it was the late 90s, but you didn't have to make up a wife and kids. You could have just said you were single. Or you know what? Not talked about your personal life at all because nobody gives a fuck.
Or not drag down your class and make them feel like shit.
Yeah. By inventing a 9-year-old daughter that you don't have.
Elaine Lee. She's so perfect. More perfect than you.
She got a 53 on the test. All right, anyway. I got my toe caught up in a heavy wooden door and split it straight down the middle.
Oh.
Wow. Jesus Christ. That curled my toes. I had to wrap it and couldn't walk on it for weeks. I showed my gym teacher my split toe on Mile Monday and asked if I could please sit out for running that day. The teacher told me I had to run since I didn't present a doctor's note, and then added, besides, you're not the skinniest girl here. You could use the run.
Whoa! All right.
I was 13 at the time. I was anorexic for 2 years after that.
Whoa, jeez.
That's ignoring the science teacher who told me verbatim, give up on your dreams, you can't make them happen, but other than that, I've had plenty of lovely teachers.
Jeez, I guess that guy never saw Pinocchio, When You Wish Upon a Star.
Wow. All right. I know you want to go out. Hold on, Gibbs. I'm almost done, okay? He's looking at me like, hey, it's 11 o'clock. It's time to go out. Yeah, I usually take him out one last time, and then we have a whole bedtime ritual.
Aw, cute.
That's where I drag his bed over to be near mine. I put his toys away, give him a hug,
Aww.
The day after a weekend band competition, my band teacher sent me to the office for leaving early. He said it was because I told a parent chaperone I was leaving and not he himself. He said I was the most irresponsible student he had ever had and didn't deserve to play in his band or be in first chair. I was 12 years old. The principal let me cry in his office. The whole thing got dropped when the teacher admitted I had brought a note 2 weeks before the competition. He had signed the note and that I was going to a different school in a month anyway.
Yeah, holy shit. Like that
so none of that mattered, in other words. None of that mattered.
Ugh.
All right. I just realized this is insanely long. I'm only halfway done. So I'm just going to read one more and then we'll call it a day.
Okay.
They're not numbered anyway.
All right.
Because holy shit, I just looked at the scroll bar on my browser, and it's a little more than halfway.
Keep on scrolling.
Yeah.
You don't know what time it is.
A professor for literature course handed back papers 4 weeks after they were due, ones that had ridiculous instructions, and spent the entire class not discussing the text we had to read and instead put up passages from our papers and asked us students to critique them. This is a small class of about 10, and we all knew one another and our styles, so we immediately knew whose was whose. We would tentatively say things like, this could be stronger, or this intro doesn't tell us everything, and she would see it as her turn and rip it apart. It was brutal, and everyone felt like crap. She got to mine last, and it was my introduction. She didn't even let people critique it before pointing and saying, and this is an example of someone who shouldn't be an English major. To say I was distraught was an understatement. I think of myself as good at handling criticism, especially for my writing, and I had quite a few professors specifically compliment me as an accomplished writer, especially with research. I got my paperback at the end, and it just had a 68 on it with a "we need to talk." After crying on the phone to my grandma, I dropped the one and only course I've ever dropped in college. She ruined my spirit for weeks. I did poorly on a lot of papers for the next month because of it. I had a professor for another class finally sit down with me and discuss it all and put things in perspective. Interestingly enough, that professor is one I'm still close with. He's a history professor, and the class was a mandatory history writing class. I aced my research paper for his course and ended up with straight A's that semester. I became a stronger person and writer because of the experience, but I'm sure I would have without it as well. Well, who needs that, right?
Things turned out better than expected, I guess.
Yeah, right. God. Oh, I gotta tell you, there was this other guy in that English class I was telling you about.
Yeah.
He was pretty much the only other guy that was like on my level in terms of English, you know?
Okay.
And he came over to me after that whole "I wrote it, you idiot" thing. And just was like, bro, he couldn't stop laughing, you know? Because he thought that I orchestrated it to be like that.
Like this was your big plan all along.
I didn't know that he was going to read it, and that he, I couldn't have known that. And I was just trying to piss him off because he says don't use metaphors because he can't understand them. And he says, you have really good verbiage. And I'm like, don't say verbiage. He doesn't know what that means.
You got quite the vernacular.
Well, me and this other guy kind of became buddies, and we just basically spent the rest of the semester trolling the teacher. This is the same teacher I told you about a long time ago that we would fuck with the clock.
Oh, yeah, him?
Do you remember that? Same guy. Same class. We would fuck with the clock. For anybody who doesn't remember, it was an old story. We did the oldest trick in the book. And this was in college, dude. Fucking college. You think he should see this coming. He should be well above it. We would fucking just physically change the clock. Just reach up and change it. First we put it about 5 minutes ahead. Because he would come in and bullshit for the first 20 minutes of class, you know what I mean? Just telling bullshit stories of bullshit that didn't happen ever, And then he was trying to awkwardly segue into whatever we were working on, and it seemed like we only had like 10 minutes left in class. Nobody wanted to deal with his shit, so he started setting... At one point we had it 20 minutes forward. And he would look at the thing, and he would look at the clock, he would curse in Greek, and then just be like, oh, we're out of time, And he would be like, oh, we're always running out of time. And at one point, he started to get suspicious that we were fucking with the clock. And he actually said, I think you guys are messing with the clock. And then he did the dumbest thing possible, that he said that next time he was going to check the clock in the hall.
And guess what you did?
Of course, we matched them. We put the clock in the hall ahead. And he never thought, like you think he would think, oh, because I said that, like I played my hand, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He went out, not only did he look at the one in the hall, then he apologized for accusing us of doing such a thing.
Nice.
Like, you think maybe he would just wear a watch? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and even nowadays, just check your phone.
Oh, I mean, you couldn't get away with that now because everybody has a clock on their phone,
Yeah.
But, this was 1999, I mean...
Right, everybody had swatches.
No, it was 1989, it was 1999, not 1989.
Or, those slap bands with the watch in them.
Not 1983 either. No, actually the slap bracelets, that was in 1990, I remember those things. But anyway, the clock thing, that was the same teacher.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's stories about him. I mean, he came in and told this ridiculous story once about how he was in Jamaica once, because he would tell all these stories about these elaborate vacations he would take. And he was in Jamaica once, and he was sitting on a bus, and this big old Rastafarian dude came on the bus, and everybody was kind of like looking at. Oh, he was in like some like Christian tour or something, you know, all these like old white people. And then this Rastafarian guy gets on, and he's just like staring at everybody and just glowering and being really, you know, creepy. And then apparently he started like. Then I'm not making this up. He says that the guy whipped out a machete and started killing everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, like he murdered like everybody on the bus except for the teacher, of course. You know.
Of course.
And you know, I actually like after he told the story, everybody's sitting there horrified because he talked about how this guy started slaughtering everybody on this bus and how he like chopped up all their limbs and their arms and legs and their like dicks and shit, and they like arranged them in patterns and shit. And everybody's like horrified, and I'm just like, I started pointing out the plot holes, and I'm like, and why are you alive? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, I passed out. And I'm like, and he decided not to cut.
You can still get stabbed.
Pieces. Yeah, like he just decided, like, he dismembered everybody. But he's just like, he's dead. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
I think a funnier reaction would have been he tells this long-winded story, and then just dead silence, and then you in the back go, bullshit.
Well, I mean, that was what I was thinking.
Would have been funny if you actually said it, though.
Oh, well, I've said things like that, but
yeah,
anyway, you know. Anyway, he tells this ridiculous, horrifying story, and then tries to segue that into categorizing things in writing. Because
he categorized the body parts?
Yeah, because he put in, like, he had an arm pile, and a leg pile, and a penis pile, and all that, a torso pile.
Speaking of penis piles, let's talk about categorizing.
yeah, that's basically what the bullshit that he pulled. I mean, yeah. Oh, he once asked, he was trying to talk about taking a boring subject and making it interesting.
Uh-huh.
Which is a real thing. Sometimes you have to write about something that ain't exciting, but you gotta make it at least interesting to read, right?
Yeah.
And he says, how could you take a subject that's really dull and make it interesting? I raise my hand. He calls on me. And I said, you could use colorful language.
You could use
know
what?
I'm thinking of, right?
What did you say?
You could use colorful language.
Oh, yes, like swears.
Yeah, exactly. And now, and his example was writing a recipe. That was the example, because recipes are not exciting. Like, how do you write a recipe? Like, how to make a sandwich? You know, how would you make that interesting? And I said, you could use colorful language. And he says, could you give an example? And I said, no. And he said, why not? And I said, because I don't think you know what I mean by colorful language. And he goes, oh, no, I know. I understand. Go ahead. And I said, all right, very well. So you take some fucking bread, right? And he's like, oh, okay, I get it now.
What do you think? You take the red bread and you add the pink sugar. Like, what?
I have no idea. I said, you take some fucking bread, right? Slam some meat on it like a fucking bitch. That's exactly what I said. And everybody starts laughing. And he's like, okay, I get it now.
You made it very interesting.
Honestly, you could have taught the class. And I don't mean now, I mean you from back then.
Oh, shit.
You would have been about 16 years old. You could have taught it better than him.
Oh, I thought I was invincible when I was 16.
Yeah, exactly, but you still would have been smarter than this asshole. You got to be a college professor.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, give this list of horrible teachers a grade. Maybe, perhaps... next month, me do the other half of it because it was too long and I need to take kids out.
I give it an A, but not the teachers, just the list.
I give it an A as well mostly because there were two of them that had some sort of vindication and it wasn't just a trauma Congo line.
Yeah, A for assholes on parade.
The planetarium thing, though, amazing.
That was a good story.
I mean, I love the astronomer there being like, what, Jupiter's not bigger than the sun? Are you a fucking idiot? Oh my god. I'm trying to, I'm trying to imagine thinking that, and then I remember there are people in the year 2018 that are insisting the world is flat.
Flat Earthers.
There are more flat. I mean, I know that there was the story about Christopher Columbus that he sailed because he wanted to prove the world was round. That complete bullshit. Everybody knew the world was round. The navigation equipment they used was based on a round Earth. But it's like there are more flat earthers now than there were then.
Why though?
But you know what I love is memes that make fun of flat earthers.
I swear it's just because they want to be part of an exclusive club.
That might be it. I think it is something to do with anti-intellectualism too. But I saw this one meme where it was like,
what?
It was the solar system and had all the planets as being perfectly round, but Earth as being flat, and it says, "Crazy how nature do that."
Yeah. Wait, anti-intellectualism?
Yeah.
Excuse me? In my 2018?
Yeah, well, it's more likely than you think. You just
Number 3 will shock you.
You just wanted me to say it's more likely than you think.
Thank you.
Centipedes in my vagina?
It's more likely than you think.
By the way, for anybody who doesn't get why I just said that, there used to be this banner ad. There used to be a thing that was called a banner ad, by the way.
Yeah.
You go to a website, and at the top of the website, there would be this huge ad, and you couldn't get rid of it. It wasn't something that would play, and then you'd dismiss it. It was just there. And there was one that had this very surprised-looking woman, and it said, "Porn on my computer? It's more likely than you think." And people thought I thought it was hilarious. And somebody at like Something Awful turned it into "Centipedes in my vagina? It's more likely than you think."
The other popular one was, what was it? Here's one weird trick to do X or Y. And then underneath it would have like, "Doctors hate him for revealing it."
That's more of a modern thing, though, where, because you see that still to this day, the one trick that, they don't want you to know,
But those were also in the banner ads.
Yeah, but they still do that. The porn thing, it was an ad for this program. The basic thing was that somehow, even if you don't look at porn, it somehow just seeps in.
It's just you have porn now.
Yeah, you have porn. It's like you have termites. You have porn, and people and they sold you this thing that would basically look through your computer, and basically it would analyze files, names, and things like that, and tell you things that likely might be porn.
Yeah,
and you could delete it, I guess. But anyway, I decided to try it.
Okay.
Because I wanted to see what it was all about, right?
Oh God, I hope it added porn.
No, it did not add porn, no. So anyway, because the whole thing is it's saying that like even if you don't download porn, somehow you'll get porn, So anyway, I ran the program and it came up with, like a million things,
Yeah.
And almost all of them were my archive of quotes.
Your quotes.
Text files. It was telling me that text files were porn. And
very nice.
And I realized that it was basically going by keywords. And it would give you, how it basically was like an antivirus program. Like an antivirus program will give you like a preview. It'll tell you the name of the file that's infected and then like a description of what the infection is.
Yeah.
So it was like that, except not an infection, it's porn. So it tells me, it gives me all these file names, and I know what they all are because they're all like me and my friends' conversations. And then it would have the keywords listed there, and one of them was like ass, 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 like 5 times in a row. The website that we had that archived of this was called Leet Ass Quotes.
Leet Ass Quotes.
Yeah, well, it still exists, except it's a Facebook group now.
Yeah.
And nobody says leet anymore, but it's like it's an artifact now.
What do people say instead of leet now?
I mean...
Lit?
Yeah, I guess lit would be the modern equivalent. Except...
Maybe we've reverted back to...
No, I think savage. is the
savage.
Because you could say that a situation is leet, but you could also say that you as a person are leet.
Yeah.
So I don't think lit works in that case.
Yeah.
Do you know where leet came from?
Like elite?
Yeah, somebody spelled it wrong.
Yeah. That makes
Like
sense.
literally, and it became a meme. That's like the same thing with prawn.
PRON.
Yeah, instead of porn, it was prawn. Teh, TEH became a thing. Tessa.
Oh, yeah, I remember when that was going around.
So many memes came out of So I got to tell you a quick story, and now we're still doing the episode. I'm telling a million stories. This morning, my mom's sitting there laughing her ass off. Something to do with Facebook, right? One of her friends, who's like a total Trumpster fire, right?
Yeah.
Posted some meme about Trump and how amazing he is and some quote, And guess who decided to stop in and say something about it?
You?
No. My grandma.
Uh-oh.
And she, in all caps, declared, "This is crap." Nobody's going to fuck with her. She's 86 years old. Except she didn't spell crap right.
This is carp.
She wrote grap.
Oh, okay.
So my mom told me about it. She says, and then grandma came in and said, "This is crap." And I don't know if anybody said anything back to her because I hid the post, but you should check because I don't nobody should be fucking with grandma. So I'm like, let me check. And I was like, grandma didn't say it's crap. She said grap. And all day I've been going, what a bunch of grap that is. And I even said it to my grandma because I went over to pick up one of my nephews. I picked up Nathan and I got, "Grandma, what a bunch of grap."
I could use a good healthy bowl of grap nuts.
Grap nuts. Have you ever had grape nuts?
No.
When I was a kid, I kind of wanted to try it because, it was interesting.
I thought it was just grape and nuts because I was a stupid kid.
Apparently it's neither.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
But everybody that I've ever heard that has had it has said it is disgusting.
Oh. It's just like another Mueslix?
Another what?
Mueslix.
What is that?
It's a cereal.
It sounds like something you take for diarrhea.
Metamucil.
Well, that's what it sounds like.
But it's it's I don't know how you pronounce it properly, but it's muesli.
I don't think we have that here.
Oh.
So listen to this. Despite the name, the cereal contains neither grape nor nuts. It is made with wheat and barley.
Oh, those sound fine.
Post believed, as in the guy who made Post cereal, that glucose, which he called grape sugar, formed in the baking process. Based on nothing, I guess.
This is Mr. Post.
Yeah, Mr. Post was an idiot, apparently.
Yeah.
This, combined with the nutty flavor of the cereal, is said to have inspired its name.
That's fucking stupid.
It is said another explanation originates from employees at Post who claim the cereal got its name due to resemblance to grape seeds or grape nuts. That was a little more believable. But then again, this cereal first came out in 1897, so who really knows?
I mean, at least Kellogg's had it right with corn flakes. You get what you see,
Flakes?
Of course.
Derived from corn. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah.
I just realized all this time we spent bullshitting, we got to finish that list, but I enjoy the bullshitting. So we're going to call it a day, a week, a month, but not a year.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Suck my balls. I'm still bringing the thing up. Where's the recorder? Oh, there it is. I'm like, I couldn't find it. Okay. See you guys.
Bye.